everybody. How is it going? Colin here, and joined by the lovely Jose. What's up, Jose? How are you today, bud?
I'm fine, mate. I'm fine. I'm cool as a cucumber. It's not very nice weather out there today, but I'm looking forward to going to play football.
Yes, absolutely. And yeah, I'm jealous of you for getting to go out and play football today. Would love to be going and playing myself. It's always nice the day after a loss to be able to go out and right those wrongs yourself. You know, you have a good match, and then you kind of, it perks me up a little bit. I assume it's probably the same for you, but
I enjoy
um,
playing football. So it doesn't really matter win, lose, or draw. I still love playing football, so
it's
it
a
doesn't
beautiful
affect
game.
me. It doesn't
Best
affect me in
game
the
in the
slightest.
world.
Doesn't affect me in the slightest.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Guys, just wanted to say before we get started, there are memberships available for Talk and Ball. They, amongst other things, the main thing that you get is access to our member shows, our Tuesday member shows. You guys know what tomorrow is, Tuesday. And if you would like to become a member, the link is pinned up at the top of the chat. So if you're not one, consider it. The member shows are a lot of fun, and we would love to have you there. With that in mind, though, Jose, we've already got some people in the chat. Our favorite Liverpool fan is here. Jordan Hyman, LFC, telling us that he smashed us. And I told him, to be fair, he didn't have to do much. We were the architects of our own downfall. I wanted to make a joke about Gomez smashing Brennan Johnson in the head with his boot, but it wasn't. I think slow motion made that look worse than it was. But anyway, we also got Daniel E in the house. Big up, Daniel. And this is all stuff we're going to be talking about. He says, big up, sorry to say this, and just in trouble, mate. Even some of the most positive Spurs fans I've seen in other chats are questioning and starting to turn. Us fans never learn to back a manager. That last sentence, man, is really poignant. I responded to him there. We've got Adrian Sroka in the house. Big up, Adrian. Good to see you, buddy. And Rob Belcher in the house. Wishing all my fellow Talking Ballers. Ooh, Talking Ballers. I think that's a good one. That's a good one. I can't believe I hadn't thought of that. Rob Belcher, though, what's up, man? I hope you are also having the best of days. And Potato Stew's in the house. Hey, everyone. Hope y'all well. Hope y'all well, too, Potato Stew. Good to have you. And, man, there's just all of my friends are here today. Pranvat is in the building saying, what's up, guys? What's up, Pranvat? Hope everything is good in your hood, buddy. And Chris Ackenbar. Big up, Colin and Jose. I'm
Afternoon,
concerned
Chris.
the way we play Burnley are going to look against us like prime Barcelona. That wouldn't that be something? Not entirely out of the realm of possibility. Don't get me wrong, Ange has made mistakes, but I'm hearing fans say he might have lost the dressing room. Well, I'm going for the players. They have also done the same to Conte and Mourinho. That is such a good point, and I'm just going to put the banner up because I was going to ask that same question. There's a misspelling in there. Let me fix that. So, Ange's system, the players, or both. What do you reckon the issue is? Who just jumped in? I missed that. Sorry about that. Oh, JBG. What's up, Johnny? Hope everything is good, man. Bethnal Green, I forget if that's where you're located like these days, or if that's just your hood where you come from. But regardless of where you're at, Johnny, hopefully it's a nice day today.
JBG has moved further east, out of London, I believe.
Gotcha. Got out of the hustle and bustle a bit. I don't blame you, not one bit. Daniel, so just to answer this question, Daniel's jumped right in. He said, it's the players. I'm done sticking up for these players anymore. And I'm starting to lean that same way. Johnny says, you were right. It's just his hood. It's where he grew up, what made him who he is today. Bethnal Green. Big up, Johnny. Big up. But yeah, Jose, I'm starting to think that obviously it's a combination of both, I think, that are culminating in these poor results the last few games. But you and I have talked a lot, and I mean during watch-alongs, during shows on your channel, my channel, just about how so many individual mistakes are costing us. I feel like, in a way, individual mistakes are making it look like the system is at fault, when in reality, it's a deficiency from it's a player deficiency problem, and not a system deficiency problem. Um, and I'm sure you would probably agree. I can remember back to, sadly, I don't even remember which loss it was, but Sonny losing the ball in the opponent's area, and then them, two passes later, we're in to score
Twice
against
against
us.
Newcastle. Sonny lost the ball twice against Newcastle.
Yep, that's what it was. And
three of the goals yesterday were Emerson's fault.
Yeah,
it is individual mistakes. Listen, at the end of the day, right, it's fine margins, right? It's fine margins. Playing the way that we play, like other teams play. We're not the only ones that play the ball out of the back from the goalkeeper and try and pass it and beat the press. We're not the only team that does it. Everyone does it. Fine margins. If you get the ball to the ball exactly on time, and you release it just on the right time as a player's coming to cut you down, then you take that player out of the game. You've beaten the press.
Then you've got the numerical advantage up front.
Yeah, the passing and that is fine margins. A pass, a second out, and you can be in trouble.
Definitely.
If you get it just right, you can get the other team in trouble. Everything is about fine margins in this league, and at the end of the day, we haven't got enough of them fine margins in our favour. There's more fine margins in the opponent's favours at the moment than what there is for us. Listen, at the end of the day, all I say to people is cast your mind back to where you were in the summer and what your thoughts were in the summer. Yeah, we've seen 35 games of the season so far, but you know what? I'm as calm as a cucumber. I'll wait and see. At the end of the day, you've got to be real to yourself. And, Danny's saying that people are blowing up and doing whatever. Okay, fine. Everyone's prerogative. People can blow up. People can do what they like. However, me personally, myself, I'm going to keep it to keep myself to myself and say, I'm going to stick with what I've been saying all along. For me, you end up in the end of the season, you end up where you deserve to be. Simple as. So 3 more games, we'll know where Tottenham deserve to be this season. And there's not, we played well the first 10 games and we've played played bad the last 4 games. No one looks at that. Everyone looks at 38 games. That's your season. At the end of the 38 games, wherever the chips lay, that's where they lay, and that's where you finish. Now, what I have said, and I'll continue to say, is the summer is an important one. And I've maintained this all along. The summer's an important one. It's an important one both on the players that we get out of the club and the players that we bring in. Furthermore, and I've said this before, so I'll say again. So what I'm saying is nothing new. So I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm just saying what I've been saying all along.
Consistent. Right. You're consistent. Yeah.
So all I said all along is, and I said this from the start, the board have been very protected this year because of the way we started. So the board were very protective. The board bring it on themselves because they put their foots. They dig themselves that hole, right? So the board were being excused and the board were being let off until they decided to remove concessions for the older generations, and with the prices that they upped. I haven't got a concern about the prices they upped, but it's what they did with the removal of the
concessions for
the older people, and then that means they've raised their heads over the parapet. However, prior to that, I said all along, right, that the board, Conte outed everyone last year on March the 23rd. Famous statement that he made after the Southampton game, right? And he definitely put the cat amongst the pigeons. And them words
That's a great expression too. Oh my God. Okay, sorry. Put the cat amongst the pigeons.
Them words resonated with absolutely everyone that supported Tottenham for years and years. He went from A to Z quite quickly in a 10-12 minute press conference, and he told everyone what's been going on and what's been wrong for a lifetime. Now, at the end of the day, the board know this. The board have hired Ange Postecoglou as manager. I think the board have fallen on a gem of a manager, and he still is a gem at the moment. And at the end of the day, this summer, listen, if they want to bring more scrutiny on themselves, all they got to do is don't back the manager. All they got to do is don't move the club along. If you do all that, then I'm really sorry to say, but the overwhelming tide or wave will begin at the club. So it's an
Yeah.
important summer, but
I think it, like you
they
said,
dug their own holes.
And even just from a self-preservation standpoint for those guys, it seems like, I guess that's the only real point of view, I guess. But from a self-preservation standpoint, like you said, if they don't do what's needed, if they don't back Ange, if they don't get us some quality players in positions of need, you're right. Their heads will be on the chopping block, so to speak. And we know how much these guys, from what I can tell, it seems like it's probably not the most difficult job, and they make quite a good bit of money. So yeah, I can see what you're saying there. I just wanted to get to Johnny's comment, and I agree wholeheartedly with what you're saying. We have a manager who's been forced to play with a bunch of players that aren't his. Trying to implement a new style that we've surely asked him to implement, this more attacking style. That's why we hired him. But he's had players that haven't played the style. I mean, of course, I think that all things said, this season hasn't been too bad at all. But real quick, wanted to address Johnny's comment. He's saying, "I'm Levy out. I don't like Ange's squad choice. I'm quite confused at what I'm watching. Risk and reward needs quality players." And Johnny, that's part of what we're saying, man. I think, and I don't want to speak completely for you here, Jose, but I think that we believe that this summer we will back Ange and get him some quality players. Now, whether or not these are going to be like huge money signings, that I can't tell you. But I do really think that we will flesh out the squad in Ange's image. Get rid of players. I really believe that's going to happen. But that point about squad choice does kind of bring something up that I wanted to talk about. I'm going to jump all over the place today. Hopefully you don't mind. But so the match yesterday, we all saw it. We all watched it. Tell me why, when Skip came on at left back, I guess because it was really late in the game and the other team was winning, but Skip comes on at left back and we look so much better. Skip is a better left back than Emerson, yet Emerson gets picked match after match. I don't know. That one's just baffling to me. I didn't know. So I'm fully behind Ange, but he does make decisions that make me scratch my head. He does. I think if he would have made more proactive substitutions at halftime yesterday, namely get Richarlison on the pitch, that guy was a devil when he came on. Just wreaking havoc, causing trouble. So there's things he does that baffle me. Are you at all concerned about squad choice and subs? I mean, obviously we're not there during the week. We don't see training. I know that's one of the main things, but I was a little bit baffled with the inclusion of Emerson yesterday.
So right, Emerson should never, ever play for Tottenham again. Right, Emerson is very limited. Barcelona saw us coming, said yes please, 3 bagfuls, and we paid 22.5 million for him. Emerson is not the quality that you need. How many other Premiership teams would have Emerson in their starting 11, let alone in their squads?
Some bottom of the table teams I can think of, but that's about it. Yeah.
But I'm talking about people in the starting 11, let alone their squads, right? Yeah. So Emerson's got to go. Now, anybody, that's his trade. His trade is fullback. That's his trade. Yeah. But anybody could see that doesn't work. The mistakes that he made, it doesn't work. So when you bring someone else to replace him, it doesn't matter who replaces him. That person is going to be an upgrade on him straight away. So it doesn't matter who you bring into the side. So the fact that he changed and put Skip in there, it then meant, that he looked, totally different player to what Emerson looks. At the end of the day, you play with the players that you've got, and that's all you can do. And you play with the squad you got. You can't reinvent the squad halfway through the season because you feel like it. You just got to play with what you got. And we played with what we had yesterday, but I would have thought there'd be better players to bring off the pitch. To bring on to the starting 11 to make that a stronger side. We play Burnley next weekend, and I'll have it straight with people. We will smash Burnley at the weekend. I'm telling people now, regardless, we will smash Burnley at the weekend. That's just my feeling, and we will get the 6 points we need if we want to finish fifth. I'm not sure why we'd want to finish fifth, but if we do want to finish fifth, then we'll get the 6 points. We'll get them against two of the teams that we still got to play. I would drag us in. I would like to see him given a chance and brought into the team. Defensively, we're leaking goals, and if we leak goals, then what you want to have is a tighter defence. Bring Dragusin in, put Van der Ven out to left back. It doesn't matter whether, and I said this yesterday, it doesn't matter whether you put him out to left back or not, because Van der Ven can cover where he's playing centre on the left, or where he's playing left back. He can still provide that coverage with that speed that he's got, because making him run a further 5, 6, 10 yards ain't going to make a difference. In fact, he gets quicker. The more he's got to run, the quicker he gets, so to speak. The more area he's got to cover, the quicker he gets.
It's like a train building up speed.
Yeah. So I mean, he's quick. He's quick off the off, but off the long run, he's quick as well. So, at the end of the day, I would play Dragusin. Now, whether you want to play Dragusin at left back, right? Dragusin's a defender by trade, so whether we want to play him at left back, and keep Van der Ven at centre half, or swap him around. I would not be playing, and I would not be using, Mr. Silly Cods again.
Yeah, no, it was an absolutely dreadful performance. Just so bad. And I could just roast him for 15 minutes, but it's not worth it. We know he's bad. I'm slightly alarmed that Ange felt that he had like no better option than to put him in, but maybe that's the state of the squad right now.
It's not the state of the squad. The trade, right? So certain footballers have certain positions. His position is fullback. He's a fullback. He is a fullback. If you look at Van der Ven and you look at Romero and you look at Dragusin, they are centre backs.
Yeah,
they might have played on the left, on the right, or whatever, but they are centre backs, right? Yeah. So he's obviously gone with someone whose trade is fullback, albeit on the other side. But
I'm just saying that the weird style of fullback he plays is hardly fullback anyway. It's hardly a traditional fullback, which I'm sure Barcelona, when he was playing, weren't playing with inverted fullbacks. So I guess just what I'm saying is we need a defensive player there that can work in his system and help to build play and, helped us to build out from the back. And he's seen Emerson all season and knows that he's shit. I just think that maybe the time to be brave and try something else is fast approaching, say the least. But I know that Emerson's a fullback for sure, but not a good one, But yeah. We got Daniel E. Spurs fans should be careful what you wish for. So see what they are saying when we end up with Southgate after sacking Ange. Is that what Spurs fans want? Screw that. And I'm more worried it's even going to be Ryan Mason. And not that he's a terrible guy or a terrible manager, but he has absolutely no identity, I don't think. I think that he's worked with managers that have completely different styles and systems. And he's probably put something together, a way that he likes to play, but I don't want that. And I don't think many people would. New name in here, which is a great name, by the way, 7-Inch Destroyer. Great name. It's just a mental image is wonderful. He says, why is he a gem exactly? As referring to Ange, for many reasons. To me, in my opinion, he's confident. He's an attacking manager, so the football is just by proxy like more fun to watch, in my opinion. Just the way that the football I like to watch. Handles himself well in the media, which I know isn't that important, but he just comes off as a good person, which I like. I like to like the managers of my team, and I like the success that he's brought with him from other clubs. And the fact that he's willing to work on a project, as you know, that at least that's what he says. But you were the one I think that called him a gem, perhaps, Jose. What is that? Did I do a pretty good job in highlighting the qualities of him that make him a gem? Whoa, Alan, Rakdos Madness has
Otherwise,
gifted
it's going to
5
go.
talking
He
ball.
did this a while ago, but otherwise, it's going to disappear off the screen. So I had to put it up for you.
Thank you. No, I appreciate you, Alan. I appreciate you even more. Alan, you are a total G. Alan is my new partner for my Saturday shows, the American Spurs soccer show. We're trying to make it about as American as possible, but it's for all. We're going to be joined by some other North Americans too. It's a good time. It's on Saturdays. The time we haven't got a time locked in yet. We had our first one last Saturday. It went great. Alan, thank you very much for gifting those memberships. You know what that means? Even more people can join in on the Tuesday call-in show tomorrow.
And they went to Lee Smithy Smith.
Hell yes.
Just a Harmless Potato.
Nice.
Nick Brown. Nita.
Yeah, come on.
Tot Spurs.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I really, I'm expecting to see you guys tomorrow, just to let you know. Big up. Alan, thank you again, my man. I appreciate it. So, yeah, 7-inch destroyer, was asking why he's a gem. I think we've got that pretty much covered, at least for me. I forget, did you answer that? Did you say what about him made him a gem to you?
Listen, look, at the end of the day, right, fans are fickle people, right? And 7-inch destroyer is asking the question, and I can answer it my own way. 7-inch destroyer is not going to agree with me because 7-inch destroyer has his own opinion. But what I will say to people is that people are too fickle in life, right? And I saw tweets yesterday on X, and I saw this on other shows. Someone brought up the caption of where managers are after 35 games.
Yeah.
And hold on. Right. And that looks all well and good, right? But that's not good enough for people. That's factual. What's been stated is fact. But people carve that fact into their own way and say, yeah, but this and yeah, but that. So you can't win with everybody. At the end of the day, we all have opinions. You're not going to win with everybody at all. And I will say Postecoglou's a gem. Because I'm a realist and I've been on board from day one, and I've never wavered in what I've said from day one. I've always said and maintained from day one, only say that you back Ange if you're 110% behind him. Don't just back him and then when, the bumps come in the road, I'll jump on the bandwagon. I didn't do that. I've 110% stuck behind him through thick and thin. Postecoglou has got a philosophy of football that he wants played, right? It's as simple as that. And there's no hiding and beating. There's a simple philosophy that he's got on how he likes to see football played, right? In order to get there, he implements tactics to get there. But the only tactics he can implement is with the players that he's got. Now, God forbid I turn around and say to Pep Guardiola 8 years ago, don't play your philosophy.
Right.
If I'd done that after one season because Pep didn't win the league, said no, we don't believe in your philosophy, so we're not going to get you the players that you need, and we're not going to, change the squad for you and stuff like that, Pep would have been gone. Jurgen Klopp didn't win a trophy for 4 years. It took him 4 years to win a trophy. God forbid if anyone turned around and said to Klopp, we don't back your philosophy, forget your philosophy. You got Arteta. It took Arteta 3 seasons, or at least 2 full seasons, to a third season, to get rid of the chaff that he wanted to get rid of, to bring the players that he wanted to get in, and his philosophy. Not one moment did the Arsenal board didn't turn around and say, forget his philosophy, let's get rid of him. They backed their managers. Now, we are no different. We're starting now on a journey at the moment. He has a philosophy of playing. Give him a chance to grow. He has inherited most of his players from previous squads. So bar 8 players that we've got this year, right, and 2 of them are youngsters that don't play, that are out on loan, right? So basically, he's got 6 first teamers that he's brought in this year, right? And our squad is 25 players. Plus, we've got 6 out on loan. So you're 31 players. And out of 31 players, 6 of them players in the first team are Postecoglou signings. Is that really a change?
Right.
Is that the rebuild done? This is what I'm saying. People need to look at it for what it is and look at it properly. And at the end of the day, like I said, and I'm not hiding from anyone at all by saying that what Conte said last season will come to roost. If the board think that they can just bring another manager in and the manager says he wants X, Y, and Z and you're not prepared to back him, then the board are in the firing line. But I don't pick on the board. But this summer, like I said, is going to be a very important one for obvious reasons. What happened on the 23rd of March last year, or the 13th of March, whatever it was last year, when Conte had that rant after Southampton. It resonates with everybody in the fan base. For me, I still think it's one of the best things to ever happen because I believe it was the kick up the backside that the board actually needed. Now let's see if they come to the party and play. That's what we're going to see, and that will happen this summer. We'll see whether hiring Scott Mann, Johan Langer, Paratici, McDermott, all these people that have been there now for a year at least. When I say a year at least, they were there at the end of the summer transfer window. And I maintain this. From the minute that summer transfer window closed, we must have started our work in identifying players and actually, and we would have identified many players for every position because we did not know how the season was going to pan out. So some players, some Ange and the backup team might think, or his team with Langer and that, they may think, okay, do you know what? Centre backs, we're stocked. We don't need any more centre backs. We've still got Vuskovic to come in halfway through next season. You've got players like Dorrington and Phillips still coming through, and then you've got the 3 centre halves. They may think to themselves, okay, we don't have to we'd get loads of players in that position, but they would have scouted players for the centre half position, same as they would have scouted players for left back, the right back position, the centre midfield positions, the forwards. And at the end of the day, it's now comes to a time that they know what the problems are in the squad. He knows who the players are that fit and don't fit, and it's now down to this back team that we've got to actually go and get move some players on and bring some players in. And the work's already started. Now, I want to see the fruits of that labour in the summer. And once the summer transfer window is closed, I will then make my decision on where I think we are going forward. I won't make my decision at the end of this season. I won't make my decision before the Euros or after the Euros is finished. I'll make my decision by the end of the transfer window because that will tell me everything I need to know about what we're going to be doing as a club going forward.
Very, very true. And you're right. Some of the appointments we've made don't make a lot of sense if we don't plan to use them. Like why hire Longa? Why hire, and also I'll add to that though. He's got this data-driven approach. It could be that we sign players that we wouldn't have called out for as our first choice. And we've all, as a fan base, got to keep our pants on until we see them play. I don't want another, Vicario moment where everyone, we didn't get Raya, everyone just wet the bed, over it. And, we're just sure that we got the crappier, the budget version. And now look, Vicario has turned out to be wonderful for us. Obviously, there's some deficiencies in his game. There's deficiencies in everybody's game somewhere, unless you're the top 2 players in the world, I feel like. So, we did a good job there. We got a steal. And so I think, we've got to, as a fan base, if we don't get many like crazy big money signings, I think we got to make sure that we keep cool about it and we give them a chance here, as long as they're wanted by the club and the setup, the team coaching setup. I'm okay with it. So real quick, I wanted to address Kuva. Kuva put something in here that Kuva's defeated again. Kuva is back to sad. Kuva says it was hard to believe, but I tried it. Then I saw Werner. Then I heard Ange saying things that don't add up, just like the team I've now checked out. Kuva, I hope this summer will be a good one for you. And, just some time away from football, and then we'll have a great summer transfer window. Then you can come back a happy man, and we can have happy Kuva back. But in the meantime, bro, you got to do what's best for you. Opinion, I respect your opinion as always. And yeah, come on, Spurs, do better for Kuva, for all the fans like Kuva that have been, following for a long time and deserve some happiness out of this.
Kuva makes a statement further down. Right, I don't know where that one is, but Kuva makes another statement, and I think it's because of what I was saying. And he says, "I would agree, Jose, but we're getting worse as the season goes on. I don't think the players are buying into this anymore." And for
I
me,
think the players are tired. I think fatigue is playing a big role in this.
It can't be fatigue from exertion because we've played the least amount of games. It might be fatigue, mental fatigue. It could be, but it could also be Postecoglou's a straight shooter, man. And if you're not fitting into his plans, you're going to know. He's a straight shooter. And it could be that we're playing with some players that are not going to be in the team next year and not going to be in the squad next year. But you cannot change the 25 that you've got. Yeah. And at the end of the day, I keep saying, I've gone back and I've said this before. Players been given the scripts, they're auditioning, and for the part of the show for next year. And some players have failed miserably, have failed their auditions miserably, and they won't be part of the squad next season. And it is what it is. As I said, I'm not changing. These last 4 games do not change my mind.
He could lose them all. And I still don't think that we should sack him.
But as I said, these last 4 games do not change my thought process of what I've thought from minute 1 since last summer. And people can go back and watch the vids that I did with Chris Meta Football, with Ellie and that. When I first started out doing stuff, we'd spend 4 or 5 hours just talking about football and about Tottenham and about everything. And what I'm saying now is no different to what I said last summer. But that's because I'm prepared. When I understand what's going on and what we're trying to do is build something for the future, I know it's not going to be built in 1 month, 6 months, 9 months, 10 months. It's going to take longer. When we got the manager in, unlike some of the other managers we've brought in, I've been 110 behind Ange from day one.
Yeah,
I like his philosophy, and his philosophy has worked elsewhere. You're going to have that added argument that people are going to say, but he hasn't done it in the top 5 leagues. And that's a fair argument to have. But I believe that he will succeed. And I put the question out there to people in the past and said, if Postecoglou walks right out of Tottenham, Postecoglou will get a job in the top 5 leagues. Because anyone in the top 5 leagues would have Postecoglou in their team as their manager in the top 5 leagues. Postecoglou doesn't have to go away from the top 5 leagues after the Tottenham job. He will get another top 5 league job. So, at the end of the day, it's people. Everyone's different, and I do respect that everyone's got different opinions. But my thought process has been clear from the summer, and my thought process is still there now. Do I like losing? No, I don't like losing. But
who does? Yeah.
Someone put it up the other day, Colin, and I can't remember who it was, but there was a run of 10 games that Arsenal had, and they drew 2 and lost 8.
Mm-hmm.
And people were saying, the fans were saying, he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. Well, the board stuck by him, and look how that's turned around.
Exactly. Arsenal fans were screaming for Arteta out for 2 seasons, and none of them want him out now.
Look what happened. Look what happened to them. And it's a lot of people have put it up there. A lot of people have put up the 10 games streak that Arsenal went on where they drew 2, lost 8. And people were like, wah. Anyway, they knew it was a process. They stuck to it, and look where they are now. At the end of the day, if we just keep berating every manager and thinking that every manager that goes to any club apart from ours can change something inside of 10 months, then seriously, you must be living in an alternative world, because it doesn't happen. Happen. So, but anyway.
No. And I think it takes more balls. I think it takes more balls to stick with the manager than it does to sack him. It's a bigger gamble. And I just hope, I don't know. I just hope that the Levy and the board and everybody like that are brave enough to see this through, because I think it'll yield good results.
The only people that know what's going on, right, in all honesty, are the people at the club. The people at the club know what's going on, because the players that are staying going. They know what's going on. The manager knows what's going on. He's clear on what he knows what's going on. Your Langer, your Munns, and all these people, they all know what's going on. The only people that don't know what's going on is us. And what we end up doing is we end up exploding because we're all passionate, and we all explode in different ways. And we're all passionate about our team in the main, and we just explode in different ways. So,
Yeah,
at the end of the day,
exactly.
At the end of the day, whatever will be, will be.
And we're not really any different from each other. Like you said, we all have the same finish line, the same place we want to reach, same target, but our thoughts of how to get there are all different. And and Daniel E says football is my safe place, from my personal life, and I'm getting sick of seeing fellow fans arguing with each other. I'm really starting to dislike our fan base. Daniel E comes back and says people seem like they just want to be miserable, like they actively seek it. And I think that's a human thing. I think that might be a little bit of the human condition, man. But I just think people are frustrated and and it sucked and hurt maybe a little bit, which I don't want to sound. I'm hurt sometimes after a loss, like emotionally, which I get pretty invested in football, and I think that a lot of people do. It's just it's a natural thing. I wanted to get some more comments up here. I've missed a whole shed load, but there are some people that have come into the house. Like I said, we've got Ryan G in the house. Dirty Sanchez is in the house. Good signings and good preseason are vital. This season's gone. Yeah. Brian G, we said. Dekaru's here. Big up, Dekaru. Hope you're well. Jess from JSY Talks Football fan channel's here. Lee Smithy Smith is here. Bigging up Alan for the membership. Lee, hope to see you on the next member show, buddy. We got Graham from Spurs GCTV. What's up, Graham? Afternoon, Colin and Jose. Hi to all in the cat. He means chat. We do have a cat. There's a cat somewhere in my house around here, though. Mia's in the house. Mia from Spurs Between the Lines. Big up, Mia. Ben Kaufman, too, dude. Afternoon to everyone. I'm being honest. I don't like this style of football. Like everyone screamed at Conte for his. If we finish below a disastrous Chelsea team, it will be embarrassing. Yeah, it would be a bit embarrassing for sure, but got my eyes on the future. But big up, Ben. Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate you. There was Kuva agreeing with you. That was one that you pulled up. Who have I missed? Anybody? Oh, my God. Chris Meta Football. Says, afternoon. Please show the channel some love if you haven't already. Thank you. Big up, Chris. Yeah, everybody, if you haven't yet hit a like, do me a favor and please hit a like. I would really appreciate that. And yeah, your tranquil approach is getting praise. Yes, David Clark. How are you, David? I hope you're well. He says, hi from Leicester. Inverted fullbacks have to be creative midfield players, but also strong out of possession. We don't have anybody at the club with those traits. Sorry. The closest that I could see would probably be Kulu right now, but that's would be psychotic. You reckon Ange has given 3/4 of them their notice? Fingers crossed. Yeah. And Ed says, I don't want to change manager again, but sadly, I can see the writing on the wall. Ed, don't you dare say that. Potato Stew, straight shooter and headstrong, better than stubborn and naive. 100%. 100%. I kind of feel that. Well, I think there are a number of players who know they're on their way out. Why kill yourself for a club you'll be leaving? But we have to play them. We've got no one else. And that's why people like Højbjerg see the pitch, I believe, and it's frustrating for me. Daniel E., like I said, I'm not protecting these players at the expense of yet another manager. Up to you, Spurs fans, if you do, and we end up with Southgate or Mason, then good luck to yous. Irrespective of players not fitting Ange's system, these players have been on the training ground all season. But sorry, yesterday, none of these players had a playing connection. No partnerships. David, I would agree until the second half whenever we brought in Richarlison and Madison, actually. Madison seemed to have linked up well with Sonny at times. I did see some link-up play and some actual cohesion second half. Alan, I think the wheat is separating from the chaff. That's something he said the other day on the show. The players look tired and frustrated, but I think the players we keep are playing Ange style, like Romero and BDV. Yeah. Alan, I totally agree, man. And Brian McGuire's in the house. We haven't said hey to Brian yet.
Hi, Brian. How are you, mate? I hope you're well.
Good to have you, Brian. He says, we are not patient enough as a fan base. And I'll be honest, like Jose was saying, football fans are fickle, myself included. And I'm probably not patient enough sometimes. Dragon D's Nuts says, if Ange lost the dressing room, how do we explain the final 20-minute fight back?
Good afternoon, Dragons D Nuts as well.
Yes, Dragon. That's you have the best name on YouTube, just to let you know. Stop saying explode in different ways, Jose. Doggy, Van Ben Romero, Pedro Porro, and Vic are better than what we had last year, but we are on track to concede more goals than Dyer, Davies, and Sanchez. Yeah, Ben, we are playing with a manager who has a very high line instead of a very deep one. I think it makes sense. I think that makes tons of sense. I'm not at all shocked by that stat, and I don't know why you would be. James, the Tottenham fan, says, big up, James. I hope you are well. Ryan G, when we lose, it usually ruins my weekend, which is most weeks. I used to be like that up until last season, and then something just separated, like two neurons just separated in my brain, and I'm not as emotionally invested. But it wasn't as bad this weekend as I want City to win the title anyway. That's the inner Spurs fan in you, Ryan, wanting Arsenal to lose. David Clark, your podcast is even handled with opinions, but I've seen lots of other Spurs podcasts, and trust me, they alter their opinion to suit a narrative they are following. It's so sad. Yeah, that's one thing is that Jose and I both try to be as consistent as possible, and I really try not to be emotional, and that's what, like, I'm glad I left pretty much right after the match yesterday and had some time to think about it. Jose will tell you, you say the same thing consistently, no matter what show you're on, no matter what time of the season, you know what I mean? How far into the season it's been. You've been very consistent, and I appreciate that. Declaro, hope everyone's having a good night. Mine's been a mess. Hold on. Been raining for a week, constant. Blackouts tonight, lost power and on blew my security system. Alarm stuck sounding, had to destroy it. Ears ringing. Jesus, man. Hopefully he told 85% of the squad to fuck off in the summer or not return back. I hope you're right, but I hope we bring in 85% more players. And we will. There'll be quite a few signings. That kind of brings me to another thing. I mean, so we need players that
we've nearly caught up with the chat. Just read these last few and we've caught up.
Yeah, of course. So what have we got next?
Have you read Daniel Lee's one there?
Yeah. We're told 80% of the squad
then
fuck
you've
off.
Got Edem.
4-0 down. It's easy to play. Real lack of pride in so many players' display yesterday.
And then you got DC's.
I agree with you on that point, but the critical engine room of midfield, those players are just not on the same page. Oh yeah, that was the second half portion. Yeah.
And
it wasn't a fight back. Liverpool were on the beach. They were still trying to score, bro. They wanted to have
Alan.
Our future looks bright, evidenced by our U21s winning today against Aston Villa in a thrilling 4-3 win.
I'll come back to that in a second, the 4-3 win. Then you've got...
My biggest worry about a Spurs player is Bentancur. He's reminding me of Yunus Kabul and the Nigerian national midfield player with the same injury. It ended their careers. I was going to ask you today. I know I don't have a tons of time left with you, Jose, but
I will come back to I'll come back to Bentancur. Go on. Then we've got Rob, and then you've caught up with the chat.
One word to describe what's needed at Spurs: stability. Ange has a 4-year contract, I think. Surely that's what's needed. Otherwise, another coach, different system, really. Yeah, Rob, right. I couldn't agree more, buddy.
So just to go back before you ask me on the Bentancur thing, Alan has talked about the 4-3 win. So someone ridiculous, I think they might have run into someone with money bags or something, but someone ridiculous has thought up the idea that in the normal season, the under-21s have won their league, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then when the under-21s have now won the league, what they've now done is the top 32 teams, so they must look at different leagues. But anyway, what they've now done is they've done a playoff, right? And the playoffs that they've done, Tottenham won the other day. They came back from 3-0 down to beat Forest 4-3, I think it was the other day. Anyway, their next round of the match was today against Aston Villa, and they won 4-3 after extra time. And so Tottenham are now in the quarterfinals. So it's just a ridiculous system that they've got set up. They've won the league, but it's not good enough just winning the league. Now you have to play in a playoff. And so Tottenham ended up winning 4-3 today after extra time and are now through to the quarterfinals. I'm not too sure who they meet in the quarterfinals, but I know that they came back from 3-0 against Forest to beat them 4-3, and they won 4-3 today after extra time. And then now in the quarterfinals, I don't know who it is that they're playing now.
I was trying to find on my phone, but no, I can't find who they're playing either.
And
Chris
then you've got
Peters.
Chris Peters who's here saying good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Chris.
Right, you were going to ask me on Bentancur because I've got him. You said I ain't got long, so go on, ask me on Bentancur. What did you want to ask me?
So I don't want to poke at you because that's mean, and I'm not picking at what you're saying exactly. But
sorry, Ilmatic has just told us. Hi, Ilmatic. Thank you very much. I think he says that Spurs now play Fulham under 21s in the quarterfinals.
Nice. Ilmatic,
Okay.
Thank you. What a
thank you very much
what a
for
wonderful name too, by the way. What a great album.
And thank you for letting us know that as well, Ilmatic, because I didn't really know who they were playing against.
Thank you, my guy. So yeah, you've said in the past, and I was with you, and I don't think you were wrong that Bentancur was our best player. You know, that if anyone on our team had the potential to become world class or take that leap, it was him. He had a really, really bad match yesterday, in my view, in my eyes. What do you think? Do you think it's the injuries, obviously, that are taking their toll on him?
Bentancur, right? I've got to get people straight on this. Bentancur has come back from 2 horrific injuries.
Yeah.
These are career-ending, threatening injuries that he's had. Right? He's fought all his way back, and he came back early. And he not only came back early, but then he got demolished by Cash in his first game back, and that set him back even further. Right. I've said this all along, and I maintain this again. Any time that Bentancur gets minutes on the pitch this season is going to be so beneficial for him in both his body and his mind for next year. To see him at his best, or as close to being at his best pre-injury, it will be next season. So the more minutes you get on a pitch, right, and the more game time you get in the pitch is more beneficial to us and to him than what it is if he's just doing it on the training pitch. All right.
Yeah. Fair,
so
of course.
Yesterday I saw Bentancur. Bentancur was taking the ball with his left foot and his right foot. Bentancur is 2-footed, and if people watched the game yesterday, Bentancur didn't do no wrong. Bentancur was trying to create. He played with both his feet and he tried to create. I felt that a lot of the Sarr I felt was a passenger yesterday, and I felt that a lot of work was being done by Bissouma and Bentancur did a lot of the work because I felt that Sarr was a passenger. But for me, the biggest problem we had yesterday, without a shadow of doubt, was a forward line. Son is not a central striker.
No, not at all.
And when they changed it around and they put Richie up top and put Son out onto the left, we look different.
Threatening.
With a focal point, we look different. Now, Richarlison played against Chelsea. He didn't do this against Chelsea, but people have got to remember Richarlison's coming back from an injury as well. Richarlison hasn't played and he's coming back from an injury. So to expect him to start going roof straight away against Chelsea, it weren't going to happen. These players, or someone like Richarlison, obviously can't play or couldn't play 90 minutes against Chelsea and couldn't play 90 minutes against Liverpool. Remains to be seen how much more game time he will get between now and the end of the season, because I believe that he's one of the ones that they are going to sell, in my eyes. If a decent offer comes in for him, I think they will sell Richarlison. But, like I said before, and I say many times, you've got a squad that you've got, and you've got to play with who you've got within that squad. Now, whether we like it or not, I mean, I heard people saying that Gio's done well when he's come on a sub, blah, 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 blah. But then I've heard a lot of the fan base say that Gio's only played 100 games in 6 seasons. He's always injured, and he doesn't care about the club, and his best football's when he's been on loan. Right, but at the end of the day, it can be whatever it is, but he is, at the moment, he is one of our 25-man squad players. So you pick...
And there's goals in him.
For the last 3 games, you pick your best sides to win them 3 games. And then you finish where you do by the end of the season, and then next season in the summer, if you want to get rid of players, go ahead and get rid of them.
And
But
you know how you
you've
were
got
talking
to.
about players in the shop window? Richarlison seems like he's one of those players that actually would perform his best to put himself out there to try to get on. You know what I mean? To try to. Richarlison just wants to score. He's got a hunger in him that almost no one else on our team seems to have. So that's one reason why I would be sad about letting him go. But I think playing him for these last 3 games, even if he knows he's going, I don't think that'll affect his game negatively. I think that
No,
he will.
it won't affect. It doesn't affect anyone. Look, at the end of the day, right? Some people could be pissed off. I mean, the other thing, we don't know what's going on, but some people could be pissed off because they think they should be getting more game time than what they actually are getting, and that could piss players off as well. Players that are not playing generally are pissed off, right? And it doesn't matter what team you play for. It's a known fact. When I played football as a youngster and throughout my footballing career, if I was not involved, i.e., I was always in the squad and I always played, but if I ever ended up being sub, I was so moody on the sideline.
Oh my God! If I ever didn't start, I would just
What,
go and plant myself by
yeah,
the coach and just.
I wanted the team to win. Of course, I wanted the team to win. But if I was ever a sub, I wanted the team to win. But I was absolutely biting inside, and I was angry against the manager because he hadn't selected me. It didn't happen to me too often, but when it did, bloody hell, yeah, I got the needle about it. So, at the end of the day, some of these other people, would probably end up getting the needle as well. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. Some people are going to be naturally cheesed off because they're not playing.
And they should be. If you're a really good player and you're of the quality that we want and the mindset I think that Ange and the team should be looking for in players, we need them to be pissed off when they're not playing. That competition is great. That brings out the best in players. That's why we need to have.
But there's pissed off with being pissed off and you want to prove a point.
Yeah.
Positively by playing really well when you get given your opportunity, and then there's pissed off where you're negative and your body language is negative and you're totally negative and you're sort of like, I don't really care whether I get through this game or not. And that's the client. That's what you don't want. You don't want the negativity. You want the positivity. But it must be difficult on some of these people because there must be people in the squad who believe, for one reason or another, that they should have been given a chance. Someone like Brian Hill, love him or hate him, what must be going through Brian Hill's mind? Brian Hill had a chance to go to Brighton in January, and he turned it down and stayed at Tottenham. How many games has he played for Tottenham since he turned that down in January? Do you see what I mean? So there are some players in the squad that may have beef because they feel that they should be given a chance, more so than some people that are starting, rightly or wrongly. But yeah, I'd rather players be positive, but to keep 25 of these players positive all the time, it's pretty difficult. And I've got no doubts that other teams probably have it as well. Unless you're winning trophies. So if you're Manchester City and he's got 25,
you don't mind so much being on the bench
because you're going to get a winner's medal out of it and stuff like that. And that's how fickle players can be as well. Oh yeah, I'm a passenger. Well, you're not a passenger because you've got to play more than 10 games to get a medal. But do you know what I mean? I haven't played every single game, but they've played enough to get a medal. So some of them are counting up, saying, "Cool, I've got my 10th appearance. I'm entitled to a medal this year, whether I've been playing or not."
Show up to training, eat right, and get a medal. Absolutely. Yeah. So I want to put this up. Rakdos Madness, Mr. Allen himself, he's saying he agrees with me, but I will tell you, Allen, I got this idea. Jose was the one that first brought it up and that I first heard it from. He said he agrees with me because we talked about this on Saturday.
I said this 2 years ago. People blasted me for it 2 years ago. People can still blast me now. I don't care.
I'm behind you.
At the end of the day, it's only an opinion and it's only my thoughts on what I see. But everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But I did get a good old slating about it, but there we go.
I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure you did. And now people like me and everyone else are like, no, actually, you're right. But big up to Alan. Big up. Pete's in the house. What's up, Pete? Says Sar looked like he was running around like a headless chicken. I think that's what that is. But yeah. I also see there was a conversation that I thought looked interesting here. It was from Talking Beer, just talking about how you have to build a squad to their tactics and style of play, and so you get basically not an argument but a debate between Ben and Nick about whether or not you buy the players to adapt to the style, or you adapt your style to the players that you have? And that's a good question. I mean, I feel like there has to be a bit of give and take in that, and I think every manager, even the most stubborn ones, I think change their game to a certain extent, even if it's not very apparent to us. I think there are tactical tweaks and changes that we as fans, especially watching from home on TV, that don't see the entire pitch, that we don't see. I'm sure he's not playing exactly the same way he did at Celtic. I'm sure there's been changes there, but yeah, we also need the players to make it work. It's obvious you can't go from playing an ultra defensive style to playing an ultra offensive style without a major overhaul in the team. So yeah, you guys, that's a tough one. It's a tough one. But look, Mia is throwing in all kinds of links, and so are you. So look at this. Mia says, sub to Chris. And this is a link that will get you to Meta Football TV, where Chris lives. Eltel Cockerell right here.
I had to put my own one because Mia weren't doing it, so I had to put my own one in.
Mia, she's just been made a mod, so she's just new.
Have you just given her the blue spanner?
Literally 10 seconds ago, I feel like.
Fantastic. Well done, Mia. Well done.
Yes. So Eltel, everybody, if you're not already subbed to Eltel, please do it. We had an awesome watch along. The match wasn't great, but the watch along was a lot of fun. It
was carried by Alan and by Colin, but I will be back on Saturday for the watch along.
Heck yeah, can't wait.
Against Burnley.
Yeah.
4-0.
4-0, you say? Snap.
Prediction show hasn't even started. 4-0.
There you go. 4-0. And look at this. Here's Jess's link. JS White Talks Football. Please, everyone, make sure you sub to her. And yeah, guys. Whoa, Chang is in the house. He says, apologies for not being able to broadcast from my car last night at Saturday midnight to partake in the Liverpool watch along. Hopefully, I'll be able to make up for it this weekend, the Burnley match. Chang, you are far too kind. Nothing to feel bad about at all. No sorries necessary. Put those away. Thank you for being yourself. You are an awesome dude. We love you, and I hope you're having a great day, man. Chang's just the best. Anyways, so Jose, if you had to pick a man of the match from yesterday before you go, 2 minutes I got you left for it. Who's your man of the match? I know it's hard.
It's got to be Van der Ven or Romero for me.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'll tell you what the biggest problem we had yesterday.
Yeah.
Was we were playing the ball out, and it's been highlighted. So I've seen it on a few programs, and it's been highlighted. But I saw this with my own eyes yesterday, and what I'd see to my detriment, what I say at the time, 24 hours reflection, I'm still saying the same thing because I've watched the game and I know what I've seen. And I saw us, and like I keep talking about fine margins, the way that we play the ball out of the back is fine margins. If you get it wrong, you're in trouble big time, like anybody else. But if you get it right, it don't half look good. And I felt that we played some really good football to get out from Liverpool's press. And as soon as the ball got to the top end of the pitch, you might as well not have given it to them at all.
Right. We'd spend so much time and effort getting it there, only to just
Johnson weren't doing nothing in the first 60 minutes when we were getting out and getting up there. Sonny weren't doing nothing, and Kulu spent so much time coming back in.
I know, it pissed me off so bad. I was just begging him to
stay out wide, but he didn't stay out wide. He kept coming back in to help out.
And cutting back in on his left foot when he would get the ball in a great position to just cross. All you need is just swing your foot at it. It's not even hard. They don't even have to be great crosses. Just put a cross into the area. I don't know. The fact that he just refuses to cross right-footed just absolutely annoys me. And I like him as a player, but you're allowed to like a player and think they're a good player, but criticize aspects of their game. And it's sort of like, I know that basketball is a way more American thing, but there's free throws that you get to shoot every time you get fouled. And when players miss free throws, I'm like, what in the hell? Those are guaranteed points. And so I just feel like it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same monster there. But yeah, Spurs are frustrating right now, but I think a lot of it is to do with, like what you said, it's the end of the season. A lot of players know they're not going to be back.
But like I said,
Well,
at the end of the day, for people, there's only 3 games left last season. With nobody, and I'm going to say this for everybody now, nobody wants to see us lose. All right, that's why we support the team, and what we want to see against our name is the W's. We don't want to see the D's and the L's. We want to see the W's against our names. And at the end of the day, like I said, whatever will be, will be. We'll finish where we deserve to be after 38 games. But then we go into an important period for me is what we then do in the summer. That is the most important bit to me because that will tell me whether we do want to move on as a club. Do we want to move on as a club? And do we want to move on as a club and see what we do from there? So for me, the summer's going to be the summer's important, but we don't like to lose games of football, and the summer will be important for us.
Absolutely. It is 11. Oh, my time, 5 your time. I probably ought to let you get to footy.
I know. I'll shoot off in a minute.
Okay, sweet, cool. I'm not trying to run you off. I just didn't want to keep you late or anything. So I was gonna bring up. I hate seeming like I'm singling people out, but I just wanted to pull up this comment, and maybe I need more context. It's probably above. Ben saying that Arteta is a manager for 4 years and has already won a major trophy, not the Scottish League with the best team, head and shoulders above everyone. But Arteta's only managed in the Premier League, man. So I think by that logic, then you have to give Ange 4 years in the Premier League before you can judge it. I don't know. That's my philosophy. And major trophy is also kind of, he didn't win the league or the Champions League. But anyway, I know what you're saying. But I just think I don't know if that's if it's fair to judge them like that. But again, I probably have missed tons of context. Love that Under Armour shirt. The guy on the right, that's Jose. Everybody, that is Jose, my wonderful friend. He's got his own channel, El Tal Cockerel. Let's see if we can get that link back up. But yeah.
Thank you, OTC, for Anjin. Lovely name and a
Absolutely.
picture of Romero. So well done, you, sir.
Big up, my friend. And yes, that was a wonderful kit. I just remember Dele scoring that absolutely disgusting goal against Palace in that kit. That was when he did the whole flick up and beautiful.
Yeah, and if anyone wants to help me out, then that's my channel there. If anyone wants to help me out, and it's nice to see, OTC for Ange here, and also nice to see Luton Dan.
Luton Dan, what is up?
Nice to see Luton Dan here as well.
Arsenal would have got rid of Arteta first season. Are you talking about the fans? Because the fans were on his back from the get-go. But yeah. What do we got here? I'm thinking there's got to be some good stuff in the comments. And again, everyone, sorry that I got really off track on the comments. They're coming in thick and fast. As this show grows, it is so much harder to get all the comments in and get the good discussion going. But Dragon says that Johnson will be good in time. He's doing better than Son did in his first season here. Masuma was a brilliant 6 at the beginning of the season. No one could have predicted such a massive drop-off for him. People do forget that Sonny's first season here wasn't exactly amazing. But he did, though. I will say this, Dragon. He did look maybe like he had more about him than Johnson does. I don't know. Johnson is just so slight and small. He gets pushed off the ball so easily. I feel like that's Johnson's main issue at this exact moment. When he does attempt to dribble past people, he literally just gets pushed out of the way. Ball goes out of play, or the opposition player gets it. What do you think? Do you see that comparison about Johnson and Son's first season? And do you think there's something there, or do you think Son showed more in his first season than Johnson has?
Sonny in his first season didn't get that many chances. He was a very, very much bit part player in his first season, and that's hence why after the first season he was umming and ahhing whether to leave or not. So it's horses for courses. It was different at the time that he was being bled into the team.
Right. I think Johnson was supposed to be bled in. That was the plan.
Injuries. Yeah, we've had injuries all season, so people have been rushed and people have been asked to do this, that, and the other. So it's quite a difficult one to answer. But anyway, look, I've got to shoot. I'm going to have to shoot off. Right. So anyone wants to support me, there's my channel there for anyone wants to support me. Do you need someone to come on with you?
That would be lovely. Yeah, if there
Who do
was
you want?
anybody available.
Ask someone in the chat. Does anyone in the chat want to come on with Colin? And if you do, I will send you the link.
Lovely. Yeah.
So
Anybody.
you've got some other content creators here that can come in and
Yeah.
carry the show with you. What I will say to people is, please smash the like button for this stream. Become a member. So subscribe to this stream as well. And someone's asked me the question, and I think it might have been Potato Stew. Has asked the question about how many points they've got. Right, so tonight is the last game. Tonight's Crystal Palace versus Manchester United. So after tonight's game, I will update the scores and the table, send it to Colin, and we'll have it ready for tomorrow's prediction show at 4 o'clock on El Tel Cockerel. The one thing I need to tell people now, if I can, Colin, in advance, is that I'm not going to be around on Friday. So Friday, there will not be a prediction show from me on Friday because I won't be around. So I'm hoping I will know tomorrow, because it all depends on my work tomorrow. But I will know tomorrow, definitely, if I can fit in a prediction show for possibly Thursday, right? And if I can do that, I will do it on Thursday, and I'll let everybody know. Chris Meta Football. Colin, you got your phone near you?
Yeah, can you hear me right now?
Yeah, all right. So can you send the link to Chris Meta, because he said he'll come on?
I would love to do that.
Yeah, if you send it to Chris, will come on. So yeah, what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and I'll know tomorrow from work. I will know tomorrow. Potato Stew, but we might have a show on Thursday for it. But I'll know tomorrow. That's why I haven't said anything as yet, because I don't know what date. But if by tomorrow, I will know what day I'm going to do the prediction show on, and I will let everyone know tomorrow. If I'm not going to do a show, then we'll tell you how we can do it and how we can get around it, because I'm not going to stop predictions for everybody because I'm not around. So please, yeah, so come tomorrow at 4 o'clock, and I'll give you the updated tables, the updated scores, and then we will also update how we're going to run the predictions this week, because this week is the penultimate week. Yeah. But for everybody, I thank you everybody for coming on to see Colin here at Talk and Ball, and for listening to me up until now for an hour. And hopefully you can carry on with Colin and with Chris, because Chris will be joining shortly, and you can then enjoy the rest of the show. And please, yeah, come subscribe to me if you haven't done so already. Come to me. I'll be on at 4 o'clock tomorrow,
and I'll be there.
I just want to say hello, Chris, before I shoot off.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, Chris. How are you, mate? You all right?
Fucking annoyed. That's what I am. But anyway.
Okay. With that, I'm getting out of it. I'll see you later. See you later, lads. Take care.
Bye,
everyone. Thank you very much.
Later, buddy. Thanks. And then there were two. Chris, hey, man, I was going to text you earlier and ask you to come on, but I do it like 4 times a week, and so I was worried I was getting annoying.
Never annoying, mate. You're never annoying. I've always got time for good people.
Same. Back at you, man.
Thank you.
So you're annoyed. I've got. Talk to me, bud.
Clip all of this. I couldn't give a fuck anymore. I'm so pissed off with this bloody deluded fan base, right? Of criticizing managers, criticizing tactics, criticizing style of play, criticizing, bitching and moaning. It is insulting. It is so fucking insulting, right? To professional managers, right? To professionals that are out there doing their job and going through shit every day, so that a fan base that is so effing entitled, yeah, get to still bitch and moan. We've come from effing nowhere in, 24 years, right? And we are 5th under a road sweep, under someone who has no fucking clue, right? And we are still 5th, right? With a half-baked team that cannot defend, that cannot play football, that cannot do jack shit. And yet our fan base is so fucking entitled that they can still think they know fucking everything about football. It just pisses me so fucking much. Okay? Fuck the lot of yous. And that is what I want to say. Because you've got fucking no clue about football. Okay? There are so few people that are not deluded, that give people time, right? That understand that we are in a are in a building process again that is needed, right? That sees things
sorely needed.
That are sorely needed, right? But yeah, of course, Daniel's not going to do it. And right, if you're so fucking future seers, right? If you can see into the fucking future, I want my Euro Millions number now, right? For tomorrow, right? And for Friday and next week, make me a fucking millionaire. Do it, right? And I will fucking preach because it's pissing me off, and I have to say it, right?
Yeah.
And I try to be humble, right? But people know that I'm a coach. And to listen to this bullshit about coaches don't know anything and fucking chatters know this and chatters know that. Yes, you're entitled to your opinion. Yes, you go to the stadiums. Yes, you pay your hard-earned money. Yes, it's frustrating. Yes, you want more. You're fucking clueless, a lot of you, right? That just sit there and preach and moan. You can clip it. You can put it all over fucking YouTube. I'll make millions and millions of views out of this. I don't give a fucking shit. I do not. And I'm sorry for swearing, but it's just getting annoying now.
You can say whatever you want on this show. No worries.
Okay, I am not the only one that's annoyed. I'm not the only one that's mental health is suffering because of you fucking clueless people, okay, that just bitch and moan. Ange is here to do a job. He's here to help you have a better club, right? And if it's not Ange, it's someone else. But at the moment, we've got Ange, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Look at how much
international winner with his country, right? As an Asian Cup winner, which is more than what you lot have done, which is more than what I've done, which is more than what Colin's done, right? Which is more than what Arteta's done. He's a manager of 28 years, which is probably what more than you've got on this fucking earth, right? Most of you. And I respect everybody's opinion, right? It really fucking is. I really do. I think that the people that know me, right, appreciate me and count on me and think that I'm more or less a lovely guy. But when it's got to this, my fucking mental health is frailing. It really is. I got off the phone today, right? A long distance phone call. I'm not going to say to where. And he has to step away from this as well because his mental health is frailing. All because of this bullshit. A toxic fucking fan base that thinks they are so entitled to know more about left wing backs, high lines, inverted fullbacks. Fuck the lot of you. You're clueless. Right? I am sorry, but I am saying it now, loud and proud. You're fucking clueless. Because even I don't know half of it, but I know a bit more. And I am fucking sick of it. I can't sleep at night because of all of this bullshit. Because I want the best for Spurs, and I've been supporting Spurs since 1983. Right?
Yeah.
I am not.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm fucking sick of it, and I've had to come on and say it, and I do apologise if I've offended anybody. Right? But it's true. And I speak for those who think the same as me.
Yeah. Luton Dan brings up a good point. Says, Chris, my gripe's not with the manager, more with the players not doing the basics. And it's plain to see they're not doing them.
What's the basics? What's the basics, Luton? I mean, come on. Let's get into the details. What's the basics, man? If we're going to talk about football, let's talk about the basics, my good man. And it's not against you. Let's talk about it. Because people think to know everything. They seem to think they know about everything, right? About what a manager is there, day in, day out. Morning shift, afternoon shift. Eating with the players, sleeping with the players, shitting with the players, fucking with the players, everything with the players, and yet we're all entitled and we know about the matter. We know everything about it. You shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. He should put Mickey Van de Ven on the left because Emerson shit. Emerson shit yesterday. Emerson shit. I know Emerson shit because he's a converted left back because of necessity. Right? He's an attacking right wing back. Right? They did an excellent job for Betis here in Spain. And if not, go on YouTube and find it. He is not a defensive left back, right? That inverts. Yeah. That is not what he is. And we have to understand it and contextualize things. That is exactly what he isn't. So don't expect something from someone that cannot do the job. I am not a builder. Don't expect me to build, right? You cannot expect things from people that cannot give. You cannot provide, okay?
So I want to predict the next argument from people and then counter it just before it comes in. People would then say, so then who hired this guy to be a builder if he can't build? But like you were saying, necessity. It's all out of necessity. There, in no way, I don't think would Emerson ever have been in the manager's plans to play on the left. You know what I mean? I don't think that at all was. If he had everything his way, that wouldn't even ever be an option. But his hand is being forced, and when your hand's forced, you like you said, you do what you have to do out of necessity. You play the best piece you have.
You have to make decisions, and the decision is always on the manager. Yes, it's on the manager, right? He gets paid to make decisions. What if Emerson had the best game of his life yesterday and Salah didn't even get a whiff of the ball? Would we be praising Emerson as the best left back substitute for Udogie? Or is it just circumstantial? Would he still be an attacking right wing back?
Right. Yeah.
That is the essence and the truth of the matter. That is it. Okay? He had a great game. Is Skip now the left back for Spurs? Is that what we're going to say to each other? Are we going to be so deluded as to think, did he do a shifting? Is he Spurs through and through? Yes. Is he our next left back?
No.
But did he put a shift in? Yes.
Against a team that had been tiring and was up by quite a few goals. Not to take away from his performance, but I think that you know what I mean. You have to take that into context as well. Everything needs to be contextualized.
You have to contextualize things, right?
Yeah.
Now, the way we played yesterday, right? And I've got it written down. Because I analyzed the game yesterday. No one got in contact with me yesterday to do a watch along, which is totally fine. I'm not annoyed with anyone, but I'm actually happy because I could spend 90 minutes, 100 minutes, whatever the game was, analysing the game because I knew it was a good game, an important game for us, right? And I've got 4.5 pages written down here. 4.5 pages. The whole lot here. The whole lot, right? Analysing. What I took from yesterday's game, we got attacking delay, combination play, defensive collaboration, all of that improved. Application of the counter press, right? And we've got players released of pressure. They played like with a handbrake off, as opposed to against Chelsea, for example, that they looked like they were shitting themselves right off the bench. Totally different attitude. Whether you want to see that or not is totally up to you. I saw that. I'm not the oracle, but I saw that. I was able to see that. The switch of play from one side to the other, brilliant. What we lack is finalization. It's in the final third. Okay? Then we've got odd mistakes. Odd mistakes like Emerson. He had a crap game yesterday, right? He didn't scan. He didn't follow. He didn't track his mark. He did fuck all yesterday, basically, right? Because he had a shit game, right? We can analyze things. We contextualize things, or we can blame Daniel Levy for everything, or we can say that Ange's a shit manager, okay? Or we can say that the system is wrong. Yeah, or that Angie's a kilo overweight, right? We can talk bullshit if we want, right? Or we can keep quiet and we say we don't know enough, so my opinion is baseless, right? Or we can actually contextualize football if we know enough and say what enough. Or we can just keep quiet and say, you know what, I haven't got a clue. I don't know why Emerson was shit. I don't know why we lost yesterday. That's probably for the best, because the majority of us are making a fucking ridicule of ourselves. Right, and as I say again, respectful. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I can't say a building is well built if I don't know about construction. Right, that's
fair. Yeah, and even if you know and even if you know a bit about construction, and I know what you mean. It's just I get what you're saying, and people in the chat are upset, and that's okay.
Mate,
people are saying, Colin, is this okay to allow on the show? With Chris digging people out for having opinions, but you're not aiming this at a singular person. You're not aiming this at a singular person. Yeah, exactly.
It's a fucking toxic fan base. I'm not the only one that's saying it.
Yeah,
I'm the only one that's got balls to come on a live stream and say it. Okay.
Absolutely. Right? And I just wanted to say too, there was a little bit of misunderstanding. Jess said, that she's not clueless. You said you're clueless.
I know she's not, but I know what she's saying.
Yeah,
she's
exactly.
She knows the tickers.
Exactly. And then Daniel said, we know exactly what sort of Tottenham fans this is aimed at. You see, I'm not the only one, right? No. Exactly.
I've
And-
had enough.
I
I
get
want
it.
my club to function properly. I'm not talking about go-karts. I'm not talking about skywalks. I'm not talking about Daniel Levy not offering £5 million more. I want my football club to offer sexy football, which is what I fell in love with 40 years ago, right?
Right.
And I'm
Yeah.
sure a lot of people want that too. Right?
100%.
What we can't dwell on is 5 at the back, 3 at the back, inverted wing backs is shit, right? And all of this, right?
Yeah.
Okay?
Absolutely.
I don't know if he's going to get us trophies. I can't see the future. And if I did, I'd be playing Euro Millions tomorrow or the Lotto in the United States. We cannot be oracles of our own bullshit and the own smoke that we blow up our own asses. We cannot, because none of us are professional managers. Not even me. I don't claim to be. Okay? But what I'm tired of is all this bullshit, hot air smoke crap. Okay? And I'm tired of it.
Chris
All
is
it's
frozen.
fake. All right? And
Oh,
I
you're back.
apologize if anybody feels offended. But if you're offended, it's your actual problem. Okay? Not mine. We're all grown-ups. Take accountability for what you say in public and how you come across. The same as I come across and my responsibility for myself. And if I'm digging
100%.
myself a hole, I'll get out of it later. Okay?
Boom.
I'm not a little
Yeah.
kid. I'll defend myself.
Absolutely, man.
Thank
Big up. And I just wanted to say big up to David Shear, gifting 5 Talking Ball memberships. Guys, the members call-in show is tomorrow. There's been 10 memberships gifted this show alone. So I expect to see everybody there tomorrow for the membership show. So big up. Thank you so much, David. Good man, kind man, and just a positive person. And I appreciate that in you, David.
He's a brilliant man.
Yeah.
He's a brilliant man.
Wonderful dude. So thank you. I hope you're doing well. Hope everything's good. Hope you're holding it down in your wonderfully beautiful remote part of Australia. Again, good to have you here, buddy. And thank you for your kind donation to the channel. Chris, but no, I got to get this banner off here. I don't care anymore.
I was going to answer that.
Oh, do you have an answer? So the match was pretty bad in my eyes, and so I didn't even want to. Second half.
There were positives. I mean, as
Definitely.
I said before, there were things that we did well. Whether people can recognize that or not, it's not anybody's fault that they can't. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
It's fine. It's not a problem. At the end of the day, it's a sport and it's a fun thing to do and it's a fun thing to right. And that's the end of the day. It's to get. Sometimes it's just to get life off our chest and we watch a match and it's great. Okay. But you know, we did things better than the other day. Right. The outcome is the damning thing. The outcome is what takes the positives away because there are so many negatives. But there were positives in it, right? And sometimes Big Vic, right? Big Vic is our savior. And yesterday he fucked up. And there's nothing wrong in saying that because analyzing things and contextualizing gives you clarity and it takes away the ignorance, right?
Yeah.
Fortunately, there's a lot of ignorance. But anyway, but the man of the match yesterday, probably for me, was Romero for me. Okay.
Yeah. I would agree. I think I would agree. I think there's an argument. I mean, to be made for Richarlison. Richarlison, I think, was indeed a spark when he came on. But then you have to contextualize. You have to contextualize too that Liverpool were already, cruising. They were a couple goals, ahead. They might not have been as sharp had they been, had the score been different. But ifs, buts, and monkey nuts, as Jose would say, he did what he did when he came on. You can only play against who they put you out against, and the team you're thrown out there against. So, I was really happy with Richarlison. Chris, what do you think about? And I know that you're not. So I'm going to ask you some opinion-based questions, and I know that we don't know shit really, but just your opinion. Yeah, Sonny at striker. What do you think about? Do you think that's worth? Like, I think that we have to play Richarlison up top, personally.
Yeah.
I think Sonny, unfortunately for him, just gets when he's occupied by both center backs, he just has so much trouble getting on the ball and having meaningful time on the ball. You know what I mean? And I think Richarlison is better. One at aerial, attacking aerially, the crosses, and two, just holding up the ball a bit. If he's fit, I think even though he's not the future, he might be going this summer, whatever. We have to play him up top the remaining 3 games, personally. Maybe you could get away with it against Burnley. I don't know. But having an actual striker helps. I think that's undeniable.
That's what they're there for.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what do you think about the fact that a lot of people, myself even sometimes, are saying that Sonny seems kind of like he's like maybe done at the club, or reaching like the end of his time here? Do you think that's at all?
Well, if you have an opinion and you base it on something, then it's factual and it's debatable. If you've got an opinion based on nothing, then it's worthless, right?
Fair.
But
Yeah.
that's basically what it is. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That is a factual statement, right?
Right.
Now, Sonny as a 9 may work on a counter press, on a counter attack. Well, sorry, not counter press. I misspoke. On a counter attack in space, right? And as we've seen that so many times before, even under Contable, he's
Right.
done that.
They just released him. He would be through. Yeah.
Exactly, because he's made the most of, because he's an intelligent player. He's got the speed. Yeah, and yesterday he was very whippety. He was very, very quick. He was very, very spaced, right?
Really pressy at the beginning too.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly, right? Those are circumstances during the game, right? He's not a 9. He's a left forward. He's not even a winger. He's a left forward. Always has been, always will. That's where he excels, right? It's not Chris saying it. It's him that excels there. What he's proven on the pitch, right? So, no Kane to well, there you go. No Kane, right?
Yeah.
So, why has Richarlison not been playing? Manager decision, because whatever he sees on the training pitch doesn't convince him, because others are better than him. Whatever, that is his choice, right? Should Richarlison be playing as a number 9? It's the only 9 we've got. Yes, he should be playing. Sonny on the left, whoever you want on the right, or vice versa, whatever you want. I said before, I don't know who it was. I said Richarlison just come back from injuries. 1 week and then 3 weeks. He's played 90 minutes in the last 3 games, 90 minutes in the last 2 games prior to Liverpool, and then 30 minutes against Liverpool. Right? And that's great, and that's factual, because that's actually there. The stats are there. Right? He's probably going to play the remainder of the season as number 9. I expect. I don't know, but I expect, because he's the number 9.
Yeah, you would think. You would think.
He offers you fight. He offers you grit. We all have him. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, do I expect that to happen? I expect that to happen. Will it happen? I do not know. Right. With Werner out, you expect Sonny to go on the left, Richarlison on the right. Sorry, to the right of him. I apologise. And to the right, you either have Eki or you have Johnson, or
it seems to write itself. Yeah. It almost. But
that would probably be the most likely outcome of the players available, right? Why he hasn't been playing, apart from the 1 + 3 weeks out, etc., is you can't rush someone that's come back from. Whether he would have should have come on at halftime or not, up for debate. It's interpretable. You just, should he have come on after 18 minutes or after 12 or at halftime? Who are we to say? But we're basing it on hindsight and the fact that he produced
when he did come on
a good half an hour and he scored a goal.
People are extrapolating that, myself included, to say that if he had been on for the whole 45 minutes, it would have been the same thing. But there's no way to say that.
But then flip it. What if he did fuck all? What if he didn't score a goal? What if he was lazy like against Chelsea? What if? And the what ifs. But we're basing it on hindsight, and he did produce. We can't change the past, right? So, okay. But so all we can do is look forward to him producing like he did for those half an hour. So, yeah, do you know what I mean? And that is basically what we can do. There's no absolutes in football, right? There's no absolutes.
There's absolutes in life, almost. I mean, it's a very rare thing.
Well, there's an absolute in my life now that I'm pissed off and I'm suffering because it's bullshit, right? Yeah. But that's an absolute. I'm suffering, right? And I apologize wholeheartedly to anybody that feels offended. I do, but I've got to this limit, right? But we're not going to go against that. That is an absolute that I'm pissed off, and I'm suffering because of this. I am. And there's no meds that I can take more than what I am already to deal with this, because it's just damning. It really is to get to this point, right, where people have to suffer because of ignorance and stupidity, when we should all be coming together and understanding, right?
Exactly. And
We
like we
really
said,
should.
we all want
We
the same
really
thing.
should.
We all want a successful Spurs that plays good football.
Of course we do.
You know? Yeah.
Of
And
course
people
we
get
do that.
people get personal. People get
There's
right.
a common goal. There's a common goal, right?
Absolutely.
Right? There's a common goal, and it's our club, right? And even if we go down, even if we lose 10-0, right, we should all be together, because at the end of the day, it doesn't depend on us. It depends on multimillionaires that are kicking a leather ball around. Look how pathetic that sounds.
And you know,
right?
and you know what else kind of is pathetic to me? There's teams that are perennially bad every year after year, mid-table, and their fans support them. Their fans, they go to away matches. Their fans, they rally behind their team. They stay even after they're getting beat 4-0. No, you don't see massive exodus. You know, players leaving the state, or fans leaving the stadium. Sorry, I meant to say, but yeah, I just wish we could all. I don't know. I know that Tottenham means so much to so many people, myself included, but more to the locals, more to the. But if it means that much, we should be behind them no matter what. And I know people will then comment and say that, the reason why Spurs are bad is because the fans accept mediocrity. And that makes me so angry. For some, I feel like I'm being attacked when people say that.
I do wholeheartedly apologize to you, Ben, Colin, because I was just reading Ben's comment, the last one comment, just this one. If you feel offended, Ben, it is really up to you, because we are all adults, right? Okay, and that's great. It's not directed to you, but if it is directed to you, suck it up, mate, right? Because what you say here, I just want to protect Tottenham Ball because it's a place we'll go out and hang, and we don't want to lose it. Yeah, but in any youth club, in any social club, in any pub, in any place where you hang out socially, sometimes someone's going to slap you in the face, right? And that goes for me, that goes for Colin, that goes for the fit bird that doesn't want to talk to you, that you call slag because she doesn't want to talk to you and she doesn't want to get off with you. And that's basically social, right? That's social community, right? And maybe this, that, and the other happens and you don't like it and you feel offended. That's great, okay? If you don't feel offended, I am so happy for you, right? My aim is not to offend anybody, right? My aim is to vent and say that this toxic fan base, right, is so entitled to think that after 20 odd years and 8 months or 9 months, it's not 8 months anymore. Let's be real. It's 9 months now with Ange, right? Mm-hmm. We are going to challenge three juggernauts, right, that have been doing it for so long, right? But yet, our manager is useless and he doesn't know what he's doing, and square pegs in round holes, and what you were saying before, right? Mm-hmm. That's what you were saying before, and that is system and the players and this, that, and the other, right? And that is not popping. I'm sorry, okay?
Yeah.
But when you hang out socially, you have to be prepared to take a knock as well. So
fair dues.
I don't want to lose Tottenham Ball. I don't want to lose Tottenham Ball. I think this place is great, right? It is absolutely brilliant. And Cole's a great guy. And we hang out socially, even though it's 6,000 miles away or whatever it is. We do. Yeah. We talk off screen, and we talk on the phone, and we send up messages. He's a pain in the arse, this guy, right? No, he isn't. No, he's not. Right? He's not. He's a great guy, and I love him. Okay?
Daily messages. Probably at all times of night. But
yeah, he does. Right? And I'm a night owl, and I'll be 3 o'clock in the morning, and this fucker's still sending me messages, right? Okay, and sometimes I peg my phone at the end of my garden, right? And I still hear the bloody messages. This fucker. But the fact is, we should all be coming together, and we should not be so entitled to know that I know more than the rest. Okay, so what you have to do is back it up with facts. Okay, because if not, you become arrogant. Not you, Ben. I'm saying the next guy. You become arrogant. You become entitled, and you become a know-it-all. And that's what pisses me off. And that's what makes a fan base toxic.
And again,
because
I want to stress, because people will feel like you're talking like to them, but you're not. You're not talking to anyone. You're
not
making
talking
a
to
statement.
anybody in particular, man.
Right. Yeah. And I just want everybody to know that. And I know they do, but I just wanted to reiterate. You know what I mean? You're not You're not picking on anyone. You're not.
Not me.
Yeah. No, I know.
If I have to pick on anybody, I'll single you out. Trust me, and I will.
I like that.
Yeah. I'm not fucked up with your brain. I will.
I like it. I like it. And real quick, I just want to say, PK saying that Tottenham away and they're fighting amongst themselves. Yeah, no, people don't want to watch that. That's not. I mean, maybe some people do. I don't, and so that's why I try to have. You know what I mean? At least no personal attacks. That's my thing. And like the banner says, opinions are like assholes. We all like them. I mean, have them. And so, yeah, you know, it's. Oh wait. Where else would we keep West Ham or the James Madison song? Exactly, guys. Exactly. You know, and there was a really great comment that Jess put up. She said, "Live for the shirt and die for the shirt. Give everything. Leave everything on the pitch. 11 players on that pitch, and it's 100% true. 100%. And we need, as fans, I think as fans, we need to be that 12th player that that lives and dies for the shirt. I don't know. I mean, I guess it all comes down to like how important football is in your life and how much it definitely plays a lot into like how I feel about things. You know what I mean? It's very important to me, and I'm sure a lot of other people like that. Luton Dan says it's been a tough season, as when we play bad first half, Ange makes changes, then the changes work at times, then he starts with the changes and they don't perform, and then it repeats. That's a really good point. Just because something works for a second half because Ange makes a change doesn't mean that that's the way we need to start the next match, or that even would be the best way to start the next match. Daniel's agreeing with Jess's live for the shirt, die for the shirt comment. People talking about boxing, good stuff. Alan, Rakdos Madness. Everyone, please, I'm going to put it back in the chat, but Team Tottenham Go is the name of Alan's channel. We're growing that boy up. So everyone, please make sure you go to Team Tottenham Go. I'll get that in there. But he says, love the chat. Please hit the like button. Everyone, please do that. I would appreciate it a lot. Ooh, and then I got another. Yeah, all right. Hey, so yeah, you guys, Luton Dan says, all I've ever wanted is our manager to be supported. And I'm sure we would have won loads. Yeah, same.
Don't we all,
same.
mate? Don't we all?
Yeah. And as Jose says, I think the board have to know that they've like struck gold with Ange. They've got a manager that's willing to, I don't know, if they sack him, I'll be very, very, very upset. Let's just say that. Are you worried about that at all, Chris?
So listen, I was just going to say, and yet again, I apologize for interrupting you. I think that sometimes success and progress isn't visible to the eye. Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't translate into 6 Champions Leagues and four leagues and a Carabao Cup and a bloody Milky Bar, whatever it's called. Sometimes progress and success is under 21s and the way that you're, that the academy plays and it's set up and you get an identity, right? Because one day Ange isn't going to be here, right? But if you get your team and your club identity playing a certain way and a kick-ass way, and the owners, because I don't see the owners leaving anytime soon, but if they can get a gist of what Ange is all about and his philosophy, and you get a next manager in that adheres to that kind of way or philosophy, and they follow in Ange's footsteps, for example, you have got a mega club, right? Because we know we're rich. We know we're fucking rich, right? We've got money coming out of our ears, right? And if we can implement that, and I know it's an if, and yeah, we're good. I know the chat's going to get flooded. Yeah, but we haven't done it, and Levy and 5 million. Yeah, I'm saying if that can be implemented and put into the right places at the right time with the right players and the right philosophy, you've got a massive club, right? Yeah.
We're a sleeping giant, you could say.
Right? And that is the error of the board. And we all know that, right? Take down the Levy out, Levy in bollocks. We have to do things properly. And we all know that. We have to get all the levels pumping on the right, at the right pressure. Yeah? And we're a club that doesn't do that, unfortunately, on the pitch. But after Ange goes, even if we haven't won anything under him, if we set a blueprint to continue in the future, that is something that isn't visible in terms of trophies or cups or whatever you want to call them, but it's setting up for the future. Right?
And it's also
and that is more valuable than a League Cup or an FA Cup or a league or one league in another 30 years, which is ephemeral. Right?
it's a good word. Yeah.
It's much more valuable.
Yeah.
So because you're building the foundations for a bloody big house.
Absolutely. And
But let's not be hasty to criticize what this man is trying to do and give him the time to do it. Please.
yeah, absolutely.
Maybe he'll
And
fuck up. We don't know, but just at least give him the chance and stop criticizing inverted fullbacks.
we've got it.
Out half of us.
And
Say, bitching at nothing.
that is part of and like you were saying, you know, we've been sacking about a manager a season for a while now, and that hasn't been working. So why not take the other approach? I just think it makes sense. Yeah, and this is awesome. Rob Belcher, there's a couple more I want to highlight. Rob, Andrew's journey to where he is today is impressive, to say the least, in his rookie season. We are challenging for and should cement top 6. Not bad, I'd say. And then David says when he went to Brisbane Roar, he got rid of a lot of toxic deadwood. The players went above him, so he played the kids and went on a 36 match unbeaten streak. That's incredible. That's incredible. And thank you guys for the knowledge, because a lot of people, myself included, don't know tons about his past and the ins and outs and the exact details. So I say we, but I'm sure Chris does. I really appreciate this type of information. It's really great to know. Illmatic, I'm going to get to some more comments here. I know I'm skipping through, so I'm sorry, guys. Illmatic's saying Klopp has had 9 years to create this Liverpool team, and has had 9 months with the Spurs team. Perspective. Very true. Very true. And
Klopp is a great manager. Liverpool is an amazing, a massive club, right? That was dormant. There won a few things here and there. Gerard Houllier, you know, against Alaves, 5-4 in overtime. Blah 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 blah. Klopp is an amazing manager, right? He did wonders at Borussia Dortmund. Okay, fantastic football, free-flowing, attacking football, like what we're doing. Okay, it's not gelling yet, but we can do that, right?
Right.
Klopp in 9 years, right? How many things has he won in 9 years, right? Yes, he's won quite a few, but as a manager, the experiment and experienced as Klopp is, with an amazing club like Liverpool, huge history, he hasn't exactly won that much in 9 years, right? Question to the Spurs contingent, right? Or contingency, excuse my English. Would you be happy with winning all of that in 9 years if you were Liverpool? Or would you still be bitching about it's only 5 cups in 9 years? Or man, I mean, you know, you can't have it both ways. Do you know what I mean? It's only that few many in 9 years, you know? Spurs
Live, saying we lost Liverpool because Ange. I don't know if you can say that for sure, but
Josh, I'd love for you to pinpoint why. I mean, you know, and we can contextualize it. That's what we've all been around. I don't know how long you've been listening to me waffling, but
he asked for the link earlier.
Yeah. I think
yeah.
I don't know why it's because of Ange.
Can everybody be not Josh? If I bring on Josh, no big fights, okay?
No, Josh is brilliant, man. I love Josh.
Good deal. All right, the link has been sent. I only have maybe 45 more minutes maximum, because I got to work at 12:30.
Yeah, I've got a class at 7:00.
Okay, cool. So, but we'll
my
get
time anyway.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. So we'll get a little bit of discourse in. There was a question. Someone put a Q. Audio artisan. Chris, what's your opinion on Danny Olmo? Brilliant. I'd love to sign this guy, but can't see it happening.
Dodgy, man. Dodgy. Danny Olmo is on Barcelona's books, but I think because to bring him home, because he was Masia, like the academy player, and he was at where was he? Hajduk Split or one of those, Dynamo, whatever they're called over in Croatia. I think they're asking for a lot of money for him, and rightly so, because he's a class player. He would spice up. Could you put the link in the chat where I sent you the sports interview with Sterling? I've got to look it up, mate. I don't know if I can put it in the chat, but I will do it on Twitter and I will do it on the channel. I'll put it up on the channel, so please go to the channel and look at it over there. Thank you, David.
Dude, thank you so much for the super chat as well.
Yeah.
I still don't know how to accept super chats without sounding like an idiot, but thank you so much for supporting the channel. I really appreciate you. It means a ton. Thanks, man, as always. And guys, we've got our third guest. He's here. It's Josh.
Yes, lads.
What is up?
How are we doing?
How we
doing?
surprisingly all right considering.
Lovely
Yeah.
to see you, mate.
Yeah.
It's good to see you, Chris. It's good to see you guys, Colin.
Yeah, man. So I know that I brought up your comment earlier, and you had a couple more comments, but I brought up the one where you said, that Ange has to have some of the blame for the match yesterday.
Yeah, and look, I'll double back down on that. I think, by the way, before I start, the chat is on fire today, so big up to them. It's unbelievable. I was just in the background. Some
You're
are
welcome.
agreeing with you guys, some are disagreeing. It's lovely to see, but
Yeah, absolutely,
but
absolutely.
look, I think Ange really does need to take a lot of the blame versus Liverpool. For one reason. For one reason, and that's because of the Emerson. That left back position for me cost us 2 to 3 goals. Let's say it only cost us 2 goals. Yeah, we could have gotten a point out of that game, which I would have called a point from the get go. We could have gotten 2. We could have only scored 2 goals and conceded only 2 goals just because of that left back position. Now, for me as a Tottenham fan, I'm not going to speak about anyone else, but if Ange has played Ben Davies versus Arsenal, has seen what Ben Davies is like versus Arsenal, and then decides, you know what, we're going to play Emerson versus Chelsea. We change it for Chelsea, and you see that Emerson's getting cooked under Cole Palmer. He's getting absolutely cooked versus Cole Palmer. And now, it wasn't necessarily because the midfield wasn't doing a job. A lot of it was because of the left-back position. Now, with all due respect to Emerson Royale, he can barely play right back, let alone left back. Now, to play him out position on that left back, when you've got a different type of player that you could play there. You could play a Mickey van der Ven, where you 100% know what he's like. That's not my pick, but you can 100% know what he's like. You know what you'll get out of him. You'll get the speed. You might not get that inverted type of left back that you want, but you'll get the defensive side. But on the other hand, or you could choose a Dragusin, where you have no idea what he's like. All you know for the 5 minutes that we actually have seen of him is that he's quite aggressive and he's half decent, or maybe not half decent. He's much better than Emerson Royale in the air. So for me, I think if Andrew would have stuck Dragusin in there and we still would have conceded 3-4 goals, I would have been like, no, Andrew, fair play to you, mate. You've actually tried something. But because we stuck with our guns and we kept Emerson Royale, Ange Postecoglou has cost us here 2 goals. It cost us 2 goals there, simply because of that decision. Simply because, and as you saw, so I'm going on about a bit of a waffle, but as soon as you saw we put on Oliver's skin, where it was a bit like, all right, he's never played this position, let's see what we can get out of him. Oh, that's a bit nice. Now, okay, look at that. He might not have done a great job to the best of his ability, but he 100% put in all his effort into that, and really did do a better job than Emerson Royale, let's be honest. So yeah, that's my thoughts.
Yeah, brilliant. Can I just, because I was looking at this, would anyone mind if I just read out a quote?
Yeah, go for it.
Please do. Yeah, of course.
Right. It's from an interview by Pep Guardiola, and it says, the people in general, fans or whatever, owners, the people that pay, whatever, people ask that you make decisions. Of course, you have to live with the decisions that you make. That our job depends on the result, whether we like it or not. So that was from Pep Guardiola, an interview that he did. I don't know exactly when because I haven't got the date. That is basically what a manager has to do. And of course, I agree with what you say, Josh. I do wholeheartedly agree with you. But at the end of the day, a manager has to make decisions. And as I've said before, Emerson is not a right back. He played right back at Barcelona. Okay, he was co-owned, if you want to call it that, 50% Betis, 50% Barcelona when he was bought from Brazil. He played right wing back as an attacking player at Betis in like a 3 whatever or a 5 whatever, but he was essentially an attacking player, and he did very well. Then to play right back last year, people were a bit meh with him. I'm sure we can agree. He played a few games where to convert him to a left back due to circumstance is not something that I would have done, but then I don't get paid to do that. of course, I'm sure you know what we see on the training pitch, right? I'm
Yeah.
sure Ange wouldn't have wanted to do that either. I don't want to speak for him, but I think that was the lesser of the options, or the lesser of the evils of the options that he had, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure that decision was made upon, right, I've got 3 devils looking at me. Which is the least ugly devil looking at me? I've got to put Emerson there.
Mhm.
Basically, right? Whether it was the right decision or not to make, obviously yesterday proves that it wasn't, but
He has to
never
live
knows.
with that decision, like you said.
You see, but he has to make decisions, you see, and but that doesn't escape the fact that Emerson had a really shitty game and he has huge deficiencies as a defending defender, right? So, you know, I mean, it is hindsight at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you know, but pushing forward, will Ange keep on making that mistake?
I
It
think
is up to him.
yeah, but
You know what I
for
mean?
me, yeah, I completely understand what you're saying, and it's
Yeah.
a fair point. I mean, my counter to that is number one, Dragson's a right-footed or a left-footed player. Well, it doesn't really matter. He's a right-footed.
It doesn't matter. No, it's his defensive prowess. It's his defensive abilities
Exactly.
that will permit him to do a job like Skippy did yesterday.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, exactly. And so my only defense to Emerson Royale starting and to Ange really picking him was, all right, maybe because he's a right-footed player, cutting, you know, Salah trying to cut in, maybe because it's Emerson, but even now, Jagerson's even a right-footed player. Now, also, sorry, one more thing to add is also, you know, if hypothetically speaking, Ange Postecoglou was to choose Kulusevski to start, or no, would choose Brent Johnson to start on the right wing, and he has an unbelievable game. We will credit Ange fully, saying, you know, Ange, fair play to you, mate. Fair play to you, mate. Kulusevski, for example, was injured, and wow, Ange decided to put Johnson there. This should be the opposite. We should be able to give him now some criticism. You know, all right, Ange, you got this wrong, mate. Let's try do something different. But he had that test last game versus Chelsea. He had the test the previous game versus Arsenal. And to come out, I'm sorry, after a month with only beating Nottingham Forest 3-1, losing to Newcastle 4-0, Arsenal, Chelsea, now Liverpool, and we're gonna lose to City. It's a bit annoying. I mean, and to say that Ange isn't in fault in any of those games, it's a bit there's a bit too much protection for my liking on Ange right now. I'm not saying he should be sacked at all. I really don't. I think what he brings to this group of players is completely different to what we've seen in many years of Tottenham. But I do think that Ange does need to take responsibility. And if you, by the way, if anyone did hear his press conference, he did take some responsibility, which I'm giving him credit for. So yeah, sorry, but look, Colin,
He seems like that kind. He seems like that kind of manager to me. That does take responsibility. Real quick, guys, I'm jumping. Like I'm really mixing this in, but I found this comment from Jess saying that, you know, that being a woman on YouTube is hard and that you always doubt yourself when you're talking football, because it's and I just want to say, Jess, that you're awesome. We love your channel. Don't ever doubt yourself. You're great. We love your opinions. And
don't care about anyone else. Don't care about anyone else. Just say what your thoughts are.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, big up, Jess. But yeah, guys,
if my rant from 10 minutes ago is anything to go by, you have nothing to worry about. Because I've just done it. So okay.
And then look, I also wanted to say, Alan gifted 5 more Talking Ball memberships. What a G! By this point, everybody in the chat's gonna have a membership here soon. We've been gifted so many. Thank you, guys.
Lads, Colin is cooking lately. Colin is Talking Ball doing amazing. Come on, lads.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what happened. Mom Overlord Stacy's in the house using her 1 month member chat. Big up, Stacy. Been a member for 1 month. Appreciate you. Hope you're good. Hope everything is good in your hood. But yeah, guys, we can all agree that, you know, things aren't going according to plan. Things aren't. We would much rather things be going differently right now with Spurs. We would much rather have won those last 4 matches. But I just don't think that everything is as shit as a big majority of people would have you think. And Chris, you agree with that? I already know. And I think Josh, you agree too, that, you know, it's not dark. It's not, you know what I mean? 100%. We're not in. I don't think things are. I don't even think things are that bad. Like, and I know Chris talked about it earlier, but a big losing streak that Arteta went on in his first season. Managers lose games, especially early on in their careers as they're figuring things out, implementing their system. We've been sacking a manager a season for how many years now, and it hasn't. I will say we have kept about the same league position, but still, we haven't gotten any better because of it. And so I think that the only thing we can do now is give this man at least one more season, like at minimum next season.
I mean, there is what I would say, and it's a word that has to be understood in football, and I think even Ange used it the other day, but it's come to mind now after what Josh brilliantly said now, using Emerson and Johnson as counterweights, so to speak, and it's consistency, right? Because Johnson may have a good couple of games, and on the third, fourth, and fifth, drop a level. He will only be good if his consistency is good, right? And Emerson will only be shit if he's consistently shit, right? But if he comes out against City at a left back and does a great job, that is circumstantial. But then if he comes out against Burnley, Sheffield, and then doesn't have three, right, and then keeps on going like next if he's here, and keeps on playing consistently well, we can only judge him on his consistency, right? As a makeshift left back, for example, and Brendan will only get better, and so and so, and this player and that player. Consistency is key. You're consistently good, right? Why are City consistently good? It's not because of the money they pay, right? Because you can pay £100 million for a player and not good, because you might not fit at the end of the day. You have to put in the shift day in, day out, regardless of what someone pays for you, right? And Guardiola is the best manager in the last X, Y, Z years because he consistently chops and changes, but he consistently gets the outcomes, right? Regardless of what's in front of him, right? And that is what makes the difference between a good manager, a great manager, and an excellent manager. The same as players, right?
Yeah.
That is the difference. So that's what I wanted to say.
Also, Ange's very young though. But I mean, people don't understand this. But Ange, in terms of the whole managing career, he hasn't done that much. I mean, Australia's done, Celtic he's done. I mean, but I feel like he's very new to this. And
Japan. I was going to say Japan.
But then there's a word that you have to use there now is contextualize or context. Yeah. He's done it where he's done it. Yes, you can only beat the old cliche. You can only beat what's in front of you. And yes, within that level, if I'm playing under 12 football, for example, I can only beat what's in front of me. And within that
people can't say you didn't beat the under 18s though, so you're no good.
But you can't play under 18s if you're under 12, right? Yeah. And you can't play, you know what I mean? You can only beat what's in front of you and in the best way possible. And you can only progress within that environment. Okay?
Another thing I like about his career is that whenever he was in Australia, he won the league with a team. He then left for another team and won the league with them. It's not like he goes to, and I mean at Celtic, he was arguably at the best team in the league. I know that Rangers had been kind of on a tear before he came, but it was those two teams, and I think Celtic probably has more financial backing. But anyway, in Australia, you can't say that. I think the fact that he challenged himself and had won the league with more than one team, I think says a lot about him. Because it's not like he's just dropped into the best teams and went, it's. Yeah.
Exactly. And also, just to add on to that, I feel like as well that maybe this is something a little bit that I'm criticizing Andrew. I just feel like maybe this time round, he needs to kind of adapt to the surrounding, because jumping from those type of leagues, no offense to them lot, to the Premier League is a big jump. Now, at times, which obviously this is his first season, he's only learning. He needs to adapt a little bit. And look, I have no doubt the next season, I believe that he will do much better. But I bet you, and I'm saying about myself, none of us thought that this left back would be such a problem like it is right now. I certainly did not think that. I thought, you know what, fine, all right, we can have a Emerson. I thought, fine, all right, Emerson. Fine, Dragerson can even come in. But to have this much a doubt on that left back side, it's costing us goals after goals
Yeah.
after goals.
But,
And
you know,
by the way,
yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
who's to say that Udogie would have stopped them goals? Just saying, who was to say?
No, yeah, but no one. Because if you saw against Newcastle, for example, right?
Yeah.
Udogie apparently is our best left back, right?
Yeah.
Ben Davies is our second best left back, right? Okay. And then we haven't got a third left back. We haven't got one. But
Yeah.
Ryan
but
Sessegnon, Ryan
Udogie,
Sessegnon.
but oh, there you go. Oh, right, yeah, okay, fine. Well, yeah, well, okay, all right, good. But Udogie hashed it completely against Gordon against Newcastle.
Mhm.
Right, he did. He hashed it, totally fucked it up. Right, and excuse
Yeah.
my French, but I'm learning languages again. Right, he completely hashed it against Gordon. No defensive protection whatsoever. Okay, Gordon got past him and passed it to Isaac and scored. Right, Porro didn't do a great job, and Mickey Van de Ven didn't do a great job either. Okay, one was stopping and one was covering. Awful, but that came from Udogie not being able to protect the ball against. Right, so that's your number one. Right, that's your number one left back. Okay, so that, as I said before you came on, there are no absolutes in football, right? That ball has to go into the stand 600 meters away, right? Get it away. You didn't do that. No protection whatsoever. You sold your team, right? Okay, that's your number one. And then Ben Davies against Saka. We knew because Davies is like 600 years old. He wasn't going to do a job. Yeah, but he's a Welsh international, right? He has got experience in the Premier League. You can't take that away from him. So I'm just trying to give context to what we're talking about here. We don't know what's going to happen, right? Or we have to. But last week we were harping on about set pieces and we play zonal when we don't play zonal. But anyway, do you know what I mean? And next week, what we're going to be talking about, Josh, Colin, or the chat, what we're going to be talking about, the sky is bluer than what I expected when I woke up in the morning. I mean, come on, there are more fundamental issues that we have to be talking about and fixing. And I'm sure Ange, with his 30 years experience as a manager, right, knows this even more than we all do. I'm sure he does.
I agree with you partly there, but I just feel like obviously the Emerson for me the Emerson it's just so predictable, and I'm just saying this here, and obviously you know me, I'm just gonna say what's on my mind. I feel like Kulusevski's getting there as well in terms of he's that predictable. I mean,
oh my God, yeah.
I could have told you that a year ago.
He barely.
If he would have hit one right-footed cross, Jesus Christ!
Look, I'm starting to get as pissed off as I am with Emerson than I am with Kulusevski. The only reason I've said this multiple times, Colin's definitely heard me say this, is the only reason why I have Kulusevski in my starting 11 is because Johnson can and is better off the bench, and also because Kulusevski, whilst Richie was injured, is the best hold-up player on the ball. Except for
100%.
that, he is absolutely useless. And it's not to say that I would get
his hold-up play looks like it's on accident. Like, I'm not even being mean, but the times where he gets the ball away from people, he looks surprised. He's like, holy shit, I made it out of here.
Can I ask a
I've
question?
done that, what?
Yeah. Can I ask a question based on what you've just agreed on, what you've just said?
Yeah.
You're proposing ideas there, which is great. Is it on Ange, or is it on the type of players that we currently have and that he has at his disposal?
I think Sorry. No, I think right now, I'll be honest, Kulusevski not putting the ball in for the whole season practically is based on Ange. I don't know if Ange. I don't know if Ange is telling him not to cross the ball in. But if Ange is telling Kulusevski not to cross the ball in, then it's clearly on Ange. But it's not something I can tell you that it's on Ange or it's on Kulusevski. I can't really tell, because at games, I'm like, at times of games, against Arsenal, for example, against teams, I'm like, all right, Ange has definitely told him to cross the ball in. He's definitely told him to cross the ball in. But then at times, I'm like, Kulusevski by himself is taking his own decision to pass back to the right back. So that is purely you can't decide on that.
I'd rather he pass back to the right back than try to dribble through four people and not make it. You know
but
what I mean?
It is on Ange to put Kulusevski in that lineup, because Ange knows what he's gonna get with Kulusevski. Just like Ange knows that he's gonna get absolutely nothing with Heung-min Son down the middle, and just like he knows Ange is gonna get an unbelievable goalkeeper in goal, Vicario, when he starts him. different types of players for different types of reasons.
But you said yourself that Johnson plays better off the bench. So basically, our only real like option at the right side right now is Kulu to start.
Yeah.
So I feel like Ange is hamstrung in a way, by the players at his disposal. And I think that's kind of what Chris is saying as well. That
I would have Manor Solomon in that right wing ASAP.
If he wasn't hurt as shit, yeah.
I know. If he was fit, I would put him straight in that lineup.
But that's a hypothetical, Josh.
Yeah.
And we can also hypothesize if Dejan Kulusevski, the Swedish Slovakian or whatever the bloody hell he is, had a right foot and could get to the byline and cross. I mean, we could all. Do you know what I mean? If he was better at deciding things for himself and didn't need Ange to tell him or not, then that is on the player at the end of the day. Because if you know that you have to put a ball in, you don't need the manager really telling you. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you have to decide for yourself on what you're seeing and what you're able to see in the environment and in the context of the game, whether your player is going to make a run for the near post, or he's staying on the edge of the box, or whether he's gone to the penalty spot or not, because you've got that rapport with him, and not, hey mate, don't cross it in. No, that doesn't work like that. You know that football doesn't work like that.
Well, that's the comment here. That, by the way, I think Chris you're referring to here is the one about David, where he says, "Josh, why don't professional
this
players?"
One,
this one. I feel like you're really referring to this one here. Then, in terms of they taking more decisions.
I didn't see that, but yeah.
Yeah, no. That comment for me really does explain what you're saying, and I agree in some extent. Also, in terms of Human Son, for me, it's when obviously we all say here that he should be played on the left, at least from what I understand. When he plays up front and that striker, he takes his ownership on his final decision. I can 100% tell you, 1000% tell you that Ange doesn't tell Human Son to back off the ball and to leave it to someone. I can guarantee tell you that Ange wants Human Son to shoot, because for me, Son has the best shooting ability in the team. You can't argue with that.
He has the ability to hit balls like Harvey Elliott did the other day.
I really, I mean that was just a worldie, wasn't it? That was a great.
Absolutely. As a football fan, I had to just be like, that's. It was
beautiful. Amazing, just cap it.
I can't guarantee what Ange says and what he doesn't. Right? I'm sure that at the end of the day, right, the basic parameters and the basic commands are generate as many occasions, right, as possible. Yeah. Whether it's a cutback, whether it's a grounded cross, whether it's an aerial cross, now aerial crosses are very scarce because we don't have the height. We don't have Harry Kane anymore. We don't have a substitute for him. So it's more likely to be a grounded cross or a cutback. Okay. When we're talking about our attacking players, right? If it's for example a set piece or it's a corner, then that's more likely to have Mickey in there or Romero, just basically on height. Okay, but we do have players that are over 187 centimeters. I don't know what that is in feet. 6'2", 6'3". I don't know what that is, but we do have players in there that are at least bulky and high. They're tall. Whether they have good aerial capacity or not is another thing. But they can at least be there and be a bit of bother, right? But we don't have that aerial striker that has the capacity. So possibly aerial crosses are not so common. Next season, hopefully we'll get an out-and-out striker or someone, or even Richarlison, right? If he can maintain his spot, that can be more of a threat and offer that option, right? But what we're seeing is that grounded cross or the cutback to the edge of the box, etc. We're just not generating that. But at the end of the day, Ange is not telling them, do this, do that, do the other. Because the final decision of what a player does is not based on the manager. And players actually, possibly, more often than not, don't even do what the manager wants them to do. Because the situation in a split second changes from one instance to another. So
the two goals we scored against... Oh, sorry, Colin, you want to say something, yeah?
Oh, no. You're good.
Oh, the two goals versus Liverpool towards the end. Yeah. I am sure from what I've seen this season, that is not Ange ball. The two goals we scored, the last two goals, for me, what it looked like was Ange, sorry mate, putting you to the side here. We're just gonna do it our way, and they went with it. For me, that was not Ange football. That was really not Ange football. And
No.
look, maybe that works. Maybe it doesn't. But to say, I feel like it's a mix. At times, it is an Ange Postecoglou decision to tell the players what to do, and then they have to implement it. Otherwise, they're going to be off the pitch. But on another occasion where I agree with you, Chris, here in terms of Brent Johnson's running down the wing, yeah, he is going to make the last decision whether or not he's going to skip over, Trent or to cut back. Like, I completely understand.
I get you.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yes, of course. The main parameters. What I was trying to say, the main parameters that Ange is saying, right, is switch play as quick as possible. Find them out. Find them out. And then cut back and generate goal scoring opportunities. That's basically what he's trying to say. That's all it is, right?
Yeah.
Create overloads in the middle of the field, right? Which is why they invert, right? And overloads in the middle of the park, so you have more men in the middle of the park to dominate play, right? Switch play from one side of the park to the other, so that the defense is confused, right?
Mhm.
Cut the ball back into the middle to generate goal scoring opportunities. That is basically what it is. With what we have today, that is basically how he wants to play, right?
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. Do that, I'll be happy, right? With what we've got. That is not Ange ball, what we've seen at Celtic, because it's totally different, because you've got different tools.
And it should be different. It has to be.
Of course, it should be different, Josh. And I totally agree with you. And if we can do half of what he did at Celtic, for example, right? Or any other teams that have played amazing, spectacular, free-flowing football, right?
Yeah.
Then I'll have a hard on like 24 hours, 7 days a week. Because
by the way, and also the whole game versus Liverpool, Chelsea, and Arsenal, yeah. Let's not pretend that it's all on the left back or all on a certain position.
Oh no, no.
Yeah, no,
As a
because
whole, systematically,
even the attacking position where we had 70-something possession versus Arsenal. In their final third, we didn't create anything. Also to add on to that, is that Pape gave away the ball for someone's goal. I don't know who it was. In versus Liverpool, I'm pretty sure, to make it 4-2. So again, that's why I didn't say 2 goals was Emerson. But yeah, sorry, that was my whole point.
And I guess if you take it back far enough, every goal is somebody's fault. You know what I mean? Everybody gives the ball away at some point. Every goal, if you go back far enough, it was because of usually a mistake from a player or a player not doing what they were supposed to do. So that doesn't shock me. That's going to happen. You know what I mean?
If there were no mistakes in football, games would end 0-0.
Yeah, absolutely. But we do need to set ourselves. I get what Josh is saying. We need to set ourselves up to that, for the best possible result. Yeah. I guess, and I think we've all kind of come to the same conclusion is just that, this is a building season. We've seen deficiencies from almost every single player out there at times. As David says here, we haven't played Ange's system for huge chunks of the game. He says he refuses to call it Ange ball right now.
I agree. It's not Ange ball.
And until he gets
do you guys think, was it a poll in your stream? I don't know what poll it was, but do you guys think that Ange has lost the dressing room or not? Out there, just finish that. No, okay, no, because you know that's going around Twitter right now that Ange has lost the dressing room, and I've seen this on multiple streams right now. And for me, that's a complete reaction to what is happening right now, and it just doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense to me right now. I'm blaming Liverpool on Ange. Yes, I am blaming on Ange, but that's one game. I'm not blaming the whole season on Ange for dropping points and all that. So. Yeah.
And I mean, the way we look so shaky. I know that we play out from the back, and we're supposed to, but there's weaknesses back there that other teams try to exploit. Sometimes it's the left back, sometimes lately, but there's always like a pressing point or like a player that other teams seem to kind of like go after. Whenever they, I don't know, our playing out from the back hasn't looked great lately, and that's just going to take time, I think, to get better at.
Makes no sense to play at the back.
Well, sometimes. We even saw yesterday that sometimes Liverpool. Sometimes, why can't I think of the keeper's name? It's literally just Allison, right? No, I don't know. But
Allison Becker.
Yeah, we'll just absolutely just leather it sometimes. If there wasn't anybody to pass it to, if it was a dangerous situation, he would just boot it downfield, and we never
Yep.
do that. I think that there's a time, I think there's a time and a place. So yeah, I don't know. Okay, hey Josh, you said you got to go, my man, playing footy.
Yeah, I'm going and play
Yeah.
some football now.
Absolutely, enjoy, man. I got to go to work in 15
Have a
minutes, so this is a great time to
Have a
start
good
wrapping
evening,
up.
man.
But
Cheers,
dude,
Nice
Dad.
to see you.
Chris,
Thank you for
Colin,
coming
good
on,
to
man.
see you guys.
absolutely,
Chat,
always,
you're doing
you're
a
always
great job,
welcome.
chat. You're doing
Yeah,
amazing.
brilliant
Have a good
stuff.
one, lads.
Hey,
Take care,
thanks,
Josh.
buddy. And there he goes.
Love
Yeah,
Josh.
Josh is,
Josh is cool.
yeah, good energy, man.
Yeah, man, always cool. Josh is cool.
Absolutely. Chris, it's been an absolute blast having you on. And I also feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think this was a bit cathartic for you. I think you seem like you feel better a little bit. You got some of that out. Fuck.
No.
Okay. Sorry, I was hoping. But yeah, I mean,
I
just gotta-
was meant. Listen, honestly, I said I had to go at 7 o'clock because I'm doing a class. I was meant to be assisting a class of 500 people online for professional football analysts, and I've lost that now.
fuck, that's my fault.
It's not. It's my fault because I decided to be here. But I will get it sent to me via email afterwards. But yeah. So it just means, yeah, exactly. Big up, Morgan. Hey man, lovely to see you again, Josh.
Yeah.
Always cool with you, man. No
Good
problem.
luck playing footy. Score a hat trick for us. Everyone, put a 3 in the chat
Dedicated.
for Josh's hat trick. He's going to
Play
score
left
today.
back. Play left back, you mug. And I don't know. Let 2
Don't
goals
follow the flight of the ball. Don't let them just. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, good stuff. Good stuff.
But listen, cathartic. I got it out. I got what I had to say out, but it's not going to change anything. And you know why? Because it's just me having a rant, and I'm clueless, and I'm just this and blah blah blah. I am playing left back. I knew you play left back. You look like a left back.
he speaks from experience. That's why he's so critical of Emerson.
Good, yeah, but that's the thing. You can be critical if you've got something to back it up with, and that's great. And it's okay to be wrong, Josh. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong, my love.
Absolutely.
No, it's
Absolutely.
cool. Josh is cool. But
He's a good man.
But listen, I got it out, and but it won't change a thing. But it's all cool. It's all cool.
Yeah, I appreciate having you on, man. And to everybody in the chat, really, like, I know that some people got miffed a little bit, but no reason. Literally, no one was coming after anybody. We all want the same things. This is, if you can't come and get the shit off your chest, I mean,
nothing personal. It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's not dedicated to anyone in particular. It's dedicated to everybody. Because it's a fan base and in general, and I'm not the only one that sees it. Okay, if it were just me and I was deluded and I was schizophrenic and just, oh my god, whoa, what's going on, and no one else sees it, but everybody's seeing it, and I'm mad enough to come on a live stream and say it in representation of other people that are also very annoyed at the entitlement and the stupidity and the ignorance of a lot of people, right?
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
And I do it, and I don't care. It really doesn't bother me because I'm that mad. So
I like it. I like Mad Chris.
that's cool.
You're the
You
man,
lot should
Chris.
try it sometimes.
I'll let loose one of these times. I'll go crazy. Just wait for it. It'll be good when it happens. But I do want to say, so I got a tiny bit of housekeeping to do, of course. We've been absolutely blessed with people supporting the channel today. My boy Alan gifted 5 Talking Ball memberships.
Appreciate it.
David Shear, the man himself, Cobber gave 5 Talking Ball memberships and a $5 super chat.
I'll do that. I'll do it on the channel. I'll put it on the channel.
Yeah, it'll be there. He's got you. And then another 5 Talking Ball memberships from Alan. What an absolute madman.
A different one.
Yeah. He 10.
Whoa. He's
gifted 10 this episode, or this segment. Absolutely incredible. I can't thank you enough, my man. And then the mom overlord, Stacy, used her 1 month member chat. She's been a member for 1 month, and we appreciate you more than you know. And I just want to tell everybody here, I appreciate you guys. This is a really nice place to come and hang out and just be with friends. I did the watch along the other day with Alan, and it's just so much more fun to enjoy football with other people, even if you have different opinions. Even if it's football is a communal thing, I think, and I live in a place where it's not, where soccer is not huge, to say the least, and so it's nice to be able to have a place here to come with you guys to. It's like going to the pub and having a couple drinks and talking. And
you're gonna have to put this rant on for your friends down in Indianapolis, wherever you are, man. And look at this guy, man. He's just so crazy, this motherfucker.
Look how much they care about football in England. That's what I'll tell them. I know you're in Spain, but yeah, man. It's been good. It's been good. And everybody in the chat too. Like I always say, since I'm closing out soon, I just want to say, remember today and every day to be good to yourselves and to be good to others. But mostly,
I'm not doing this tomorrow. Tomorrow you can get fucked, a lot of you. I'm not doing this tomorrow, man. I got no energy for you people. Go away.
Chris, you love everybody. They love you back.
I do.
Yeah.
Some people do, some people don't. I don't care.
That's the way to be. That's the way to be. Everybody, though, look, their chat is just blown up. Jess says, take care, guys. Catch you later. Pete says sad. I don't know what's sad, Pete. Sorry, though.
That could be Sociedad Anónima Deportiva, which means it's something in Spanish. Anyway.
Sweet. Hey, cool. Tom Pierce says, accurate, Chris. I have my rants, too. And yeah, everybody. I mean, everyone's on the same page. We're all homies, and I love it. But yeah, Jess says, take care, guys. Catch you later. Mia says, take care, guys. I would be doing a disservice if I didn't put two things into the chat real quick, just because they came on to help me out. We've already had Eltel Cockerell's link up, and there again is Chris Meta Football. And then let me grab one more here.
Let me see how many subscribers I lost. Hang on.
Spurs Live. Let me get his link up for everybody here. That's a hard channel to find.
I lost one.
You only lost one?
I lost one.
Hey, could have been worse.
Yeah, I could have lost two.
Right. And then here, I'm putting in right now, guys, Josh's channel as well. So make sure right there is Chris's. Here is Josh's.
I think Ben must have unsubscribed to it, didn't you, Ben? Ben, be honest. Oh, there's Ben. You put Ben up when I was talking about Ben.
He says, big up chat. We all have different opinions, and I totally agree with that. Ryan G says, big up Ben, mate. Big up everybody. I mean, seriously, I'm not screwing with you guys when I say I hope everyone has a wonderful day today. Hope you find $5 on the ground. I just hope everything goes well. Hope everything's coming up Millhouse for you guys. Simpsons reference. I don't know if you watch The Simpsons, but anyway, guys, have a wonderful day. I got to run to work. Chris, yes, sub to Jess. There's Jess's link. And hey, Ben, can you throw in Jose's super fast if you could? I'll tell. I would appreciate you to death. That's a lot of appreciation. But guys, I'm off to work, and I've been watching the chat here, so I have like my work stuff right here, and I do tech support, and there's like 3 outages right now. The phones are backed up like 16 minutes. Pray for me. It's going to be a really rough shift. But
oh yeah, Ben says he's still subbed. Oh, I don't know about that. I can't see you, so I know.
Yes, good stuff. Yeah, and
I might block you.
Let me youtube.com/@Cockerell. I beat you, Ben. Okay, and then he put it in right before me. He beat me by like a second. All right, guys. And then there's Jose's channel right there, Eltel Cockerell. Please make sure you're supporting him as well. He has done so much to help me. I feel like, obviously we got to help him back. We got to get him to 500 and 1,000 and all of that. So if you haven't subscribed to Jose, do it. If you haven't subscribed to Chris, do it. And if you haven't subscribed,
don't do it, man. Don't do it. Don't sub to me, man.
No, you're in for a ride if you subscribe to Chris. And then also Josh, of course, Spurs Live, and Jess and everybody. Support all Tottenham channels. We're all friends. But guys, I am gonna have to call it a day. Trust in Ange. Keep your pants on, everybody. Any last words for you, Christopher?
You can't keep your pants on if you don't have any pants on in the first place.
Love it. I love it. That's a good way to think about things. I just subscribed to Meta and Spurs Live. Yes, the others have already subscribed to. Swimmaster, you are a G. And David Shears says, "Haru the 2Cs." That's us. But everybody, have a wonderful day. I'm going to play us out with James Madison because why the hell not?
Big up.
Yes, biggest of ups. Also, there's a store.
To use a little bit of what a good friend of mine says, okay, the back part of it, the back end. If you're offended by anything I've said, you need to give your head a wobble, okay?
And then I'm going to put in here, buy some shirts. And then here, big salesman, you. And then here's the link. I want to say too, I'm getting ready to make some new shirts. So that means a lot of the old ones are going to go. So if you like these designs, make sure you buy them quick. That's my new strategy to try to get people to buy shirts. So there's the link for that, everybody. Boom, shirts. And Chris, we're gonna call it a day. James Madison time, man. Thank you again for being on, Chris, and hang tight. I want to talk to you for just a second when we're over.
Cool. Thanks for everybody for being here. Love you.
Thank you, everyone. Big love. And it is time for
my team has got James Madison. James Madison is what we need. Whoa, thank God we got James Madison. This kid plays ball like you would never believe. Whoa.